That's fancy.
New Q&A backdrop. Look at that.
It. Good job, Glenn, behind the glass there. Thank you. And don't worry, Anthony will be joining us before too long. The door's open over there, so we're going to try not to get copyright struck by Gabe's very loud music.
Yeah, he won't turn off his music.
We'll be working on that. But in the meantime, while we build a little bit of an audience and wait for Anthony to show up, hopefully with the front bumper on his car. According to him, there was a little bit of a holdup on the road where there's a big drop-off. So Q&A Thursday. We're back. We were gone.
We are back.
And now we're back.
Finally. Thank you, everybody who showed up, visited, said hello. Thank you, everybody in the comments that visited us at the Q&A or the East Coast Adventure.
Yes.
We had a blast. We're thankful to be back. Such a week. Such a fun event. Thank you again, everybody that came out. We had a great time. It was good to be back. Good to be there. Enjoy the vibes.
Good vibes.
You know, Sleepy Hollow vibes.
Yeah.
Partition Bar vibes.
Yep.
Detailer's Domain.
Saratoga vibes.
Springs vibes. All the vibes. Long Island Detail Supply.
Enjoyed them all.
Yeah, and then Haggerty. I mean, just an amazing group. Thank you to all the vendors that joined us on this trip that actually said yes when I sent them an invite. You guys want to do this? And they all said, yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. It means a lot. And then, dudes, very thankful for everybody here. So this week has been... we took Monday and Tuesday off, which is why we didn't do a Tuesday podcast.
We also did a bunch of recaps, so I kind of felt like we gave you the equivalent of a podcast.
We also
during
needed
the
rest
week last week. So.
That was the biggest thing. Just needed to sleep a little bit, feel better.
We were wrecked.
We were back. This week is a very light week. We've just been trying to get everybody back in the saddle and swing of things. Anthony is, like we said, running late. He's going to be here shortly. He's been home helping around the house. So basically, it's Friday Eve, everybody. Yeah. It's a Friday Eve that I know you guys have been wanting for a long time. So we're back, ready to answer all those Q&As.
Detailing questions, car questions.
All the good stuff.
Stuff related to, what we do every day.
So today was free taco day.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting
Ernst.
That. Did not see that coming.
Ernst
that was
Packaging.
Very cool.
They did this last year also. They provided us with free tacos for the company.
So cool.
We basically had a taco wagon here and just go get some tacos. It was great. So thank you to them.
Ooh. Thank you, Ernest. And what else?
That's about it.
We're
getting ready to start a couple sale projects. We've had a couple meetings when we got back. I just got off the phone with your dad. We got to start.
News, bad news.
We're going to start planning for Auto Mechanica 2024. It's that time of the year again.
What time of year does that happen again?
Same
That's like
time
summer?
as last year.
That's in the summer.
It's in the late summer.
Okay.
August, September. So they just announced, so we're registering for 2024 Auto Mechanica in Germany. So getting that all built out. I got to get started on that. And then, so super cool. Can't believe it's that time of the year again.
Yeah, where does the time go? I feel like it was just winter.
Next trip for the company, we've got a couple things that I wanted to go through just with basic housekeeping.
Sure.
June 20th here at the Rag Company, we are going to be hosting a one-day event with 3M for basically a work commercial wrap class. It's to teach tips and tricks on installing, registering, and all that kind of stuff. Commercial wraps. So those are the ones that you do the full print.
Yeah.
So maybe
you're doing business signage on a van kind of thing.
You're doing it on a van. So that we've got going on. You can reach out to fellers.com. You can contact your here locally. You can contact Fellers about that class and register for it. It's actually a free class, but you have to contact Fellers to register if you want to be a part of that. Then we also have July 20th, 21st, we have Avery Dennison in the house teaching another color change vinyl class. It's $1,100. You can literally just type in Avery certification and click on those, and it'll have the classes as well as the certification exams. So if you guys want to sign up for that, both classes, this one-day class is a $600 value, and you actually get tools and equipment. And the full color change class from Avery Dennison with the additional certification day at the end, the class is like $1,100. You get a free roll. You get all the tools plus the training. It's a great
So
value.
a lot
great,
of what
great
you
value.
pay is really just going to help you cover for all of the stuff you end up getting.
Exactly. And then we'll see both companies again, 3M and Avery, again in October. They're going to be here to do the exact kind of same thing. October 3M class is going to be a Design Your Right event. That's teaching the intricacies of knifeless tape.
That's
literally
a fun one.
Just a knifeless tape class. It's going to teach you how to do all kinds of crazy stuff with
Wizardry.
knifeless. It's pretty cool. We took it we had it 3 years ago here, and I've been waiting to get that class back because it's really a super cool class. So we'll have some vinyl and that kind of stuff. We've been talking about this summer. I want to bring in a couple more events. I was thinking some of the fun ones we could do is obviously we've got a Diamond Pro Tech training that we need to schedule still.
Yeah.
We've got a Color Lock leather training that we need to build and put on the schedule with the guys from Color Lock. And then I had an idea, shower thought.
Shower thoughts. Nice.
Seeing about what it would take to maybe do a distributor level or dealer level training for Coach Kemi here.
Oh, okay.
Instead of at their place in Atlanta, we have them come here and we host it here in Idaho for maybe their Northwest, Western states region
That could be kind of cool.
For their people to fly in. That way they don't have to fly all the way to Atlanta. They can come here.
We'll just make their company come to us.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I get
might
it.
see. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming. I might reach out and see if that's something the boys want to do.
So, Andrew, if you're listening.
So, it's just an idea I had. But anyway, we've got a lot of videos still to shoot. We've got a lot of stuff going on. And super excited for all of this stuff.
Nice.
So we'll be getting some ideas. Like I said, I've got the calendar built, and the calendar just needs to be uploaded into the website. We're kind of waiting on a couple little things for other stuff on the website to get that till we can get that up. So I really apologize to you guys for not having that up sooner like I thought we would have. It is done. It's just there's a couple little other things that we're trying to fix on the website that we can put that on there. So just bear with us. We're trying. I really want to get this out so you guys can have this and you can see and utilize it and start making your plans for that kind of stuff. Now, Europe. Mm-hmm. We were talking about it. We were talking about us being in Germany for a week and doing a travel road trip. That is canceled.
So no more Europe trip, just
no
UK. No
Europe, just UK. Okay. So you guys will be there. I won't be going to the UK this year.
So we switched it up a little.
We switched it up a little. Josh Petro is actually going to go in my stead. It'll be his first time. And then Dane, Anthony, and Jimmy are going to be at Waxstock this year. So if those of you going to Waxstock, you will still see Dane and Anthony. You'll get to meet Jimmy, and you'll get to meet Josh Petro, who is head of international sales, and he kind of needs to do this trip because he hasn't been out there yet.
He's got energy for all of us.
Yeah, so we will do a Germany trip probably next year during right before Waxstock or right after Waxstock. We're going to try and figure it out. Maybe we'll bookend it.
The idea is you're already over there. You might as well try and do it while you're over there.
And that way we're just in country. Yeah. Maybe we bookend it. We go a couple days ahead of time. We go do stuff, and then we go into do startup.
Sure.
Well, we start up Auto Mechanica, and then we end Auto Mechanica with maybe another couple stops.
Right. And it'd be nice to. I really like to be able to go back after all these years. Go back to Jim White's shop at some point.
Yeah, we did have to. Nice. We did have to reach out to Jim. He said no worries. He's going to book a full body PPF that week.
Oh, okay. So he'll be just fine.
He'll be just fine.
All right.
So,
well, Jim, sorry.
Felt bad, but he goes, dude, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I said, all right, cool. So again, thank you to everybody that showed up. It was super cool to see everyone this past week. And let's get this party started.
Well, Ricardo, I just want to thank personally Ricardo B for the
Dude,
hat.
I totally forgot to wear my hat today. I forgot it was Thursday.
Flippin' cool. You did this. I'll hold it up so the camera there, the Anthony camera perhaps, can pop over. I just want to show how cool this hat is.
So Ricardo showed up at the Detailers Domain event with custom hats that he made for each of us. Yeah. Mine says Master of Shine on it. Mm-hmm. Obviously.
Yeah, there we go.
Got the Great Dane films there.
So cool.
And then he made a Anthony hat, a special edition Anthony hat. So very cool. Yeah. So very nice of him to do that. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. I had it to bring today, and I literally left it.
No,
in the closet.
Thank you to everybody. Seriously, Tom for the snacks, and obviously Glenn for
Tom, thank you for
everybody who
Glenn
chatted
showing
with us,
up, Ian hanging out,
guys.
like all of
Ian,
you guys.
Yeah,
it was great to see
guys.
Everybody. So
thank you so much for coming out and just taking the time to.
The one person I was hoping that was going to be there was Joey Belinsky.
Oh, well,
I don't see why he couldn't just fly 3,000 miles to come hang out with us. I thought that's what he was going to do.
Wrong side of the country.
Whatever, dude. Well, obviously not a super fan, I guess. Right?
You'd think with his amazing height, he could just lean over and be
Hans would have done it.
Hans would have done a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just
saying.
It's true.
Well, David Cervantes saying, "What's up, guys? May miss today as I am getting surgery to put a screw in my hand. I snapped my fourth metacarpal in half. Holy cow!
Holy cow!
Oh man, David, I'm sorry." And then David Boyce popping in, saying, "Afternoon, everyone, including the first, because he's always first from Puerto Rico."
These comments are not the comments that we are looking for. Yeah. So, Glenn, your new comment setup looks awesome. I'm just hoping that we get the one from 3 hours ago from David Cervantes, followed by Tom, and then Dan. So that's the comments we're looking for. Unfortunately, maybe I can program it. There we go.
Hey,
I can
control
do
it.
So apparently the rule is, she told me, the rule is I can't activate the comments. I have to wait until they're activated, and then I can change them, as long as they're on the screen. So now we know.
There we go.
Now we know. Little inside baseball.
And then Tom Chicago,
don't call him
who
that.
showed up at Detailer's Domain with a bag full of snacks for us.
So many snacks.
Which we ate at 3 in the morning on the way to the airport.
This guy just showed up. He loves snacks.
I do. I really do love snacks. Sorry, it took me a minute, guys. I'm on dad duty today, and had an eventful morning with my daughter, and
excellent.
She's like a little tornado.
Mm-hmm.
And that must have happened while I was gone on the trip.
She's more mobile.
Oh my gosh, way more mobile. And she likes to take the chalk indoors now, right?
Ooh,
right.
Exciting.
And so my couch has a nice new design on it.
Yeah.
Very fancy.
Just wait till she starts figuring out about what the
artist.
term graffiti means and tagging.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
She's going to move furniture.
I can't wait to see her
or
signature she throws on
or
stuff.
drawings.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
my house, it's like an Easter egg hunt of signatures.
Nice. Oh, that's nice.
She's going to be the next
and
Banksy.
apples being smashed on the walls.
And apples being smashed on the walls.
Gross.
Yeah.
Now, I will say on the way over here, I was coming across the intersection by my house, right? And I'm driving behind a bunch of cars there. John had just called me. We're going over some business stuff, right?
Okay.
And I'm driving. I'm looking at the cars in front of me, and they're driving. They're going over this intersection. And I see the front end of them going down, right, on all these different vehicles. And I'm like, what's going on over there, right? And then I see the giant bump sign, and I'm in my lowered Honda Civic, right?
Of course.
And I'm like, oh no, that's not good, right?
Yeah, but you have steel underneath the car.
I don't.
Right? There's a spot that's mostly frame and metal.
It's not like you're the Flintstones.
My car has
Your feet
that.
don't just stick through the floor.
My car has that. It's lower.
I could do that with that car. But anyway, basically, they cut out the entire half of the asphalt there in that intersection.
They
so
chunked
it was basically yours road. Then there's no road, right? And
just a straight cliff drop.
Just a straight cliff drop,
Oh,
right?
that's exciting.
No gradation, nothing like that.
How far of a drop was it? 10 feet?
No, not quite. That would have been
2
crazy.
inches or so.
I mean, enough, as many inches as it takes to party, Dane. I mean, in a bad way. And so, anyway, I'm pulling up to that.
3 inches. Could probably do some damage.
Luckily, yeah, absolutely, right? So luckily I was able to get into that turning lane and flip a Yui, but because of that, it put me back a few minutes. So I apologize about that. But I'm happy to be here. We have a new layout here on this Q&A.
Yes.
on
look
our-
great.
on our
We had a new
screen.
intro. Everything has been tweaked. The only thing I'll say in the future is maybe we shrink these comments so that they're not so close in the margins, but we can work on that in the future. Anyway, next up, I got Dan. It would not be a Q&A without
Tom
Dan.
Chaningo, did we write? Did we
were
even
talking
say
about
his stuff?
snacks. We were talking about
Tom
snacks.
Chicago. Happy Friday Eve. Glad you guys are back safe. Hopefully refreshed. It was refreshed. It was a pleasure meeting you guys at Detailer's Domain in New Jersey. I had a blast. I appreciate the visit. We appreciated the snacks, Tom, and meeting you and getting to give you a hug.
I liked meeting somebody that was as crazy as I am.
Yeah.
Right? It made me feel pretty good, right?
And I accidentally called him Tony.
You did call him that, and it mortified
Tom, you're a
you.
sweetheart
I
of a
felt
guy.
awful.
I just love it because Tom was
You
like,
really
"Hey, can you come look at my car,
Right.
my Subaru WRX?" And I said, "Absolutely, let's go check it out." And we're walking up to it, and he goes, "I am just embarrassed." He goes, "You're probably used to much cleaner vehicles than this." And he's like, "I got some chips here and all this stuff." And I go, "Tom, I think in photos, my vehicles probably look much nicer than they are, but I'm meticulous, right? But I also have that little bit of jankiness in me that I'm like, yeah, it's probably fine. It's okay." So But yeah, we walked through his interior, exterior, and I give him some pointers on Dr. Color Chip. And for what it's worth, though, it's a very clean car, and he likes taking pride in that. I appreciate that, right?
That's what matters.
You do.
A guy that washes his own stuff, a guy that takes care of things, parks away from others, does what he can to do all that. And I kind of told him, I said, hey, what's crazy is like, you care a whole lot. I care a whole lot. There's a guy sitting next to me right now that doesn't care about that stuff.
No, not
right?
at all.
And you know what happens to his cars? Nothing. Nothing happens to his vehicles.
Well, a lot of stuff. Some stuff happens.
No.
Remember when he ripped the diffuser on his car on the last Jag? Smashed it in half, broke and cracked it.
On earth is
He was coming down his driveway for the first time.
Oh, he means a chin
Remember that?
splitter.
The chin splitter.
The $50 Mustang chin
remember
splitter,
when he did
fake
that?
carbon fiber thing I stuck on the front. That's when I learned how low.
Remember when he got in that accident in that booty?
I don't get in accidents.
Yeah.
I
You
have
did. You
no
hit a curb.
accidents on my record.
He was slightly
I curbed a wheel.
Not paying
wheel.
attention.
Now
on
there
his
was
phone.
the Volvo.
The way Levi tells
there
it,
was the
you'd
Volvo
think that-
incident where he jumped the curb.
Okay.
Volvo, yeah. He jumped the curb in the Volvo.
Okay, oh my
Remember
God,
that?
people. You want to get
So,
me
it's
riled up?
just
I'll
stuff-
defend
we
myself in every
understand.
position.
Stuff
the
happens.
Volvo
It's totally
incident
fine.
was me dodging a crazy person flying out of a parking lot and having to turn when I'm entering.
Hey, that's what accidents are. They just happen. It could have been a deer. Could have been a crazy person.
There's
still
so
gotta
many
get out of the
things
way.
I could say
It's not
that
your
I'm
fault.
restraining
It's an
myself
accident.
from saying about you.
Listen,
What an
some-
accident
Okay.
is.
Some people get in accidents, some people don't. You knock on wood, right?
Yeah.
Or you're crazy like me.
I
you
have a
avoid-
crystal clear record.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You avoid construction.
Well, it's the level of being it's the skill level of being a driver.
Yeah, it comes with driving what 20,000, 30,000 cars in a
Almost
lifetime?
40,000.
Almost
yeah.
40.
How many of those were driven 5 feet, Levi?
I love how the number.
Probably about 15% of them.
The number has gone up along with his residency.
It's
in
his
Boise.
residency in Boise. It's the number
yeah,
of cars
guys
he
have
drove.
lived
I mean,
here
if you're
for
going
a
to embellish it a
long
little, you might
time.
as well embellish it.
You
a
gotta
lot.
remember.
900 years and
Gotta remember.
40,000 cars later.
You got to remember,
God.
when I owned my business, I was driving 1,700 cars a year.
Wow, that's
In
insane.
the 5 years that I owned my business.
That's insane.
Right,
How many
1,700.
accidents?
0.
Wow.
Now, the previous 20 years, I was driving close to 2,000
Can
to
I call myself a
3,000
pilot
cars.
every time I ride in a plane?
2,000 to 3,000 cars a day, or a month, or a year, right? Times 20.
Yeah.
It's right there. There's my 40,000
Amazing.
cars.
Yeah. So
Some would say I'm a master at driving.
now, were you wearing driving gloves during all these experiences?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes just rubber nitrile gloves.
Gotcha.
But I
Okay.
still had ample control,
Yeah.
ample ability to do that. I only got in one accident with a dealership car, and it was because I was stopped and an old lady rear-ended me,
Gotcha.
and then an old lady rear-ended her, and then an old lady rear-ended.
A lot of
7-car
rear ends
pile
from
up.
an old
Here,
lady.
I'm gonna-
7-car pile up.
I'm gonna settle
and I was
this
the front end of
real
it in a
easy.
brand new Range Rover.
Never have I ever filed a claim with insurance for anything other than a windshield replacement.
Okay.
But you still filed a claim with
You
a
did
with
file a
for
claim with your
windshield
For a
replacement.
windshield.
That's
Not a
that
lot of
doesn't
people
matter.
do
It's
that.
still a claim.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
I've never filed a windshield claim.
it's so non-severe that they make a separate category for it. Now, I'd be very curious to hear what other claims may have been filed with insurance
Never
for
filed a
car-related
claim.
issues.
Insurance.
Perhaps we could enlighten the audience if they really care about that
Yeah.
kind of thing. If they're genuinely just curious.
I don't know if there's
I
anybody
mean, it might
here at this
look
table that's ever
a
been
little
in
bit
an accident.
interesting if we were to pour into that. But anyway,
Moving
next
on.
question.
Dan
Moving
Pfeiffer,
on.
Dan Pfeiffer with a big word up from hopefully a sunny Minnesota here.
I would hope so.
He says, good afternoon, word up from Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve and welcome back to TRC Crew. Thanks for the sale last weekend. Stocked up for my next coding project.
Nice.
Love to see it there, Dan. And then Dino says, happy Friday Eve. How you guys doing? And Dino, I think we're doing pretty great today. Alex chiming in from the Great North saying, happy Friday Eve. Glad to have you back. Hope you all had a great long weekend. It was a weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know
and
how
it
long
a
it
very
really
long
felt.
weekend.
It was long in the work sense.
Yes.
Not so much in the relaxation sense.
Correct.
But, what can you do, right? Life on the road. David Boyce says, afternoon, everyone. First, because he's always first from Puerto Rico.
Where are you seeing David? Okay, because I got Hans here.
Including, oh my gosh, I skipped Hans. Hans says, Abend
microfiber.
Microfiber wizards.
We already did David's.
Yep.
Good afternoon. And then good Glenn Dennis. Good afternoon,
Hey,
everyone. Glenn, great
Glenn,
to meet you. Great
it's
to hang
awesome
out
to
with
meet
you.
you.
It's great to meet you in
Levi
person.
noted you were much taller in person than he
You
expected.
are a very tall dude.
Dane, you towered over Dane, and
Yes.
Dane had to kind of look up at you.
To be fair, most people tower over me. I don't think anybody's surprised that
He
I'm
did
like,
whimper
not
a little
that
bit,
tall.
which I thought was kind of strange that Dane
He
whimpered.
shuddered a
He
little
shuddered a little. He saw him and he was like, And I was like,
That's a
What?
tall
An
guy.
odd
That's
sound.
a tall guy with a
he's
pompadour.
he was a very Jack Reacher height of a gentleman.
He had the
pretty close.
dimensions for the height going. He was a skinny tall guy.
Skinny tall. With a
Well,
Jack Reacher
don't
height.
call him skinny.
Well, he
I'd
was
much
a-
rather be called skinny than fat.
Dane, well, some people don't like to be called skinny.
What to say? He was a Jack
Well-built.
Reacher, a well-built Jack Reacher type of guy.
Oh, speaking of Jack Reacher, we got a Jack Reacher-sized guy, Joey Belinsky, here in
This
the
guy.
chat. Says, all is right in the world again. This will be my last Q&A for a bit, so I'm taking it all in with some stale gummies, raw Pop-Tarts, and the smell of Stekata all around me. Joey, I think Joey's going in for his big
He's getting
surgery.
a vasectomy.
Stay safe, my guy.
It's a vasectomy,
Dane's
but
going in too next week for the same thing.
I don't.
Oh
I
wait,
hope-
no, that's wisdom teeth.
Yes.
They're putting the tools in my mouth, so I really hope
What we should do.
There's not to say.
What we should do is maybe get you and Joey together,
Yeah,
and
they're
you
supposed to do it
guys
at the same
you guys
time.
could talk the tales of
for one.
of your experiences,
Yeah.
and sharing the vasectomy tools
Yeah.
on
Oh my
other
God.
things.
Oh, I think he's having heart surgery.
I'm
That's what it is.
so
Okay.
sorry to anybody who may have mistaken this for a detailing podcast.
he is having heart surgery, right? But what's nice is they can mix and match those.
They
tools,
can, yeah.
right?
mhm. Same types.
Yeah, a little sanitizer, a little bit of a couple flames just to kind of burn
Yeah,
the
you burn
tips
it
a little
off. Just
bit.
gotta clean it up.
But Joey, we are rooting for you, and we hope that
Take
you
care, brother,
feel
and
better than you've ever felt.
Stay
And then who
safe.
knows? Maybe this new surgery will actually give you a couple more inches,
That'd be awesome.
right?
It makes you feel good, right?
Even taller, right? Get that blood flowing even
Oh
better.
yeah. mhm.
Crazy.
Yep.
Okay.
We got Super Duck. in for-
Superado.
Oh, that's what I said. Superado 2K says in for the laughs. Hopefully you are laughing. And
Well,
then
we were.
Riggs 920 says, "Hey everyone, I have good vibes for this one."
Oh, thank you. Appreciate
We
that, Rick.
appreciate
It's
it.
feeling like it's got
Yeah.
good vibes so far.
Nate Marcy saying, "What's up, TRC crew? Long time since I've caught the live. Working on cleaning the old cheeseburger grease out of my Alcantara steering wheel while listening." And Nate, that's the kind of man that you are, right? Nate knows what that's like.
Haunting.
Cheeseburger grease out of the Alcantara.
Nate, you could check out the new. We got Dane this steering wheel like food holder thing that you
Yeah,
could
for his
put
birthday.
onto your
Amazon special tray.
steering
It's
wheel.
got a lot of great attachments and accessories.
Yeah.
Holders
Load it
for
up.
sauces, as
Yeah.
well as pens.
or
tablets.
you
Yeah, it had
could
a
just,
pen holder,
or you could
yes.
just not eat in the car, Nate. I mean, that's another option as well.
But why limit yourself from one of life's great
about-
joys
what about
that
this?
way?
It's not a joy, Dane.
What about this?
Well, maybe not for you, but then again, I mean,
I got an
usually
idea.
Be joyless.
I got
in
an
the
idea.
cars, So
Dane's got that flex, right?
Yeah.
It's got he can pop the hatch right on the back.
yeah,
Pop them seats down into tailgate mode.
yeah, they flip backwards.
What about a folding table that just folds up in and out, and you can just sit in the back of your car with your table, have your lunch there, listen to your tunes, listen to your stuff, right?
Yeah.
Kind of eating in the car, but not really eating in the car. Or we get you one better. We get you one of those folding chairs that pops out, but it also has a table.
Right.
So you can set your food down, maybe eat outside the vehicle,
Okay.
pop the back hatch, enjoy the tunes that
So
you want to hang out
there's
with.
there's just one little problem with that.
What about
and
we
that
add an
is,
awning to the side of the Flex?
I like to
He won't
let
have
the
his
car.
controls. He won't be able to have his controls. That
I
he
like
needs.
to
Well, he has a
listen.
remote.
I like to listen to podcasts and such when I'm eating. It's like a
but you
Pavlovian
you
thing.
can also
When I
put
hear the
headphones.
podcast, I get hungry, and vice versa.
You can put headphones in.
So when I'm doing that, I could, but see the thing is the car's running, so I'd be sucking up exhaust fumes.
But why
while
are
I'm
you
sitting
running the
back there.
car if you're outside sitting in the car?
Because I'd hate to drain the battery.
Just get a
No,
double.
you just hate to get hot because he wants to be.
I need
living-
that
he
AC,
wants to be
baby.
living
I
in
need that
sub-zero
moving
temperature. Dean, why don't
So,
you maybe just
what you
fold
misunderstand
the
with
seats
me-
down in the Flex and lay a drop cloth down?
What you misunderstand with me is that it's not about the
A
temperature.
drop trough.
It's not about the temperature. It's about sending a message. No, it's basically I
That
need
you
the
eat in your
movement
car?
of the air. I need moving air. I'm a fan.
But you can get fans. Don't you have? Do you have
guy.
USB ports in the back of the Flex or
Sure, yeah.
cigarette lighters?
Yeah.
We can mount some fans back there.
Put the little, bus driver fan thing on there or something.
I bought a little fan for Carly that clips on the mirror in her bathroom.
That's a possibility.
Plugs into the USB.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Powerful.
Now we're
it's called a
talking.
Beskar.
Best car.
Oh, best car steal.
That seems like it's
Powerful.
Yeah. I just think that
Something Star
in
Warsy
general,
about that.
like, you don't poop where you eat, right?
Yeah.
I don't eat where I drive.
You don't go eat in the bathroom when you're trying to take a dump.
No,
I understand
no,
that.
I would never. I literally never do that. But but I definitely would not do that.
Actually,
I definitely would not do that while I'm driving. I'd rather do what you just said, other than eat and drive at the same time.
Yeah,
it's just disgusting. It's unsanitary.
Okay,
the grease, the mold that's can
See,
form.
yeah, and I don't mind driving and eating.
The smells.
But I don't want to be stopped to eat. That frustrates me.
I hate driving
if I'm
and
gonna
eating.
be stopped-
You're guaranteed to drop something if you're driving and eating.
So what I don't understand, Dane, you can eat in your lap. You can
Yes.
unfold a wrapper in your lap,
I don't like-
that doesn't bother you.
No, I kind of hold it like servant style in front of me, and I just keep it level.
Servant
and then I balance
style?
it.
But
What I
how
do is-
can you possibly enjoy something when you're actually having to
No.
elevate
So
something
here's the
with a
thing. So
hand?
what I do is, using my gut in addition to a paper bag.
Why
that
we got
comes-
you the tabletop?
The whole idea is you use the paper bag as a sort of train. You balance it between the steering wheel and yourself. I have seating positions I've adjusted to
hate
create
that.
the balance.
That sounds
Basically,
I'm anxious from that.
Think of like Nathan Drake in Uncharted trying to cross a wooden bridge or something like that. It's basically that, but it's a paper bag from a fast food
Now,
establishment.
what I want to know is, do you have your seatbelt on or off when you're doing
Oh no,
this?
you take it off. When you're
Okay,
doing this.
you can-
yes,
It's not an animal.
You can
Yeah.
relax a little bit.
absolutely.
Gotcha.
He's
yes,
parked.
I'm
All right.
very relaxed.
The Bearded Hunter says, "Happy Thursday. Hope all is well."
Thank you, buddy.
And
Thank you, Beard.
we've got following that we've got
Superado.
Yep. Superauto 2K says, Joe Belinsky, those stale Cali gummies lose their potency when they get stale? Question mark. Or are we just talking about Haribos?
He means Haribos, but it says Hairbos, which just sounds like a funny
Haribos.
knockoff brand.
You
got those Haribos?
Speaking of stale gummies, Lars brought me some Haribo gummies from Germany, right?
Yeah.
And I cracked the seal on those, right? I'm letting them ferment, letting them air out, but it's a big bag.
It
It's
is
like
a big
it's like
bag.
a 1 or 2 pound bag of gummies. And what I'm thinking about doing is actually just laying them out on paper towels in random places around my home. And so that way, when I'm doing random tasks like folding laundry
have 'em there,
or
ready to go.
folding laundry, or maybe I'm cleaning out a cupboard or something like that, I can have something ready to rock and roll that I can chew on for hours.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I
Glenn.
also like the goal is that, one, it's always a surprise. You'll forget that you had them there.
Yes.
By then, they will have ripened to the perfect aged season, so to speak, for you.
Well, I told you about those gummies that from a Christmas gummy that came in like the what's it called, the short gingerbread house, right? And how those may have been years old, and I felt like I had hit the actual jackpot. I couldn't believe it.
It's like that's like vintage wine. Like you're a vintage wine connoisseur, but it's in gingerbread houses
Gummies,
that are mass produced
Yeah.
You just reminded me during
and
our
not
trip
properly sealed.
on the East Coast, you guys will recall, we had that big bag of Haribos, and we had that big panoramic sunroof.
We had another bag
and
of
so
Haribos.
it cooked the
Well,
gummy
it's
bear
because
bag.
Dane liked keeping the sunroof open in the middle of the parking lots, so it would just cook everything in the vehicle.
Open. The cover can go back and forth.
Well, the
but-
cover needs to be closed to keep the
sure.
temperature
Yeah,
of the
when
vehicle
you
cool.
park for an extended period of time, of course, close it.
Right, but we never
But
did
when it's
that.
for a short period of time, it doesn't really
it
matter.
was a
Or
long
parking
period.
overnight, it doesn't really matter.
It was a long
But the point
period.
was, they fused into a giant gooey blanket.
They did. And what was funny is that Brian Guy was actually just tearing off pieces over the course of time, right?
It was like peanut brittle, but gummies.
But yeah, and they were just way too soft. I was looking at the stretchiness that they had. I said those have way too much elasticity.
Sun
Like
got
I
to
do
'em.
not like that at all. And then eventually they actually ended up melting fully on our last day at the Haggerty Garage and Social, and it actually
Created a
melted
liquid
over the edge of the center console and started drooping down to the carpet itself. And you know what? Brian's like, oh, I got this. I'm going to clean it.
clean it up.
Used Color Lock products.
Yeah,
Got
got
everything
it all
cleaned
knocked
up,
out.
looking actually better than before. It's amazing. Glenn says, great meeting you guys at Detailer's Domain. Definitely a good time. And then we have Brett G that says, gents, glad you're back. Dane, wanted to say thank you for the water spot remover suggestion. Went with G Technic. Worked well.
Brett stopped by,
Glad to help.
dropped off all the Slop Dogs ingredients.
I promised him I
We
would
dropped
have
them off
one.
this morning. We're going to make them tomorrow.
I love that.
So
So are you bringing your crock pot, or what are you
I'm
going to
not
do?
bringing a crock pot.
How
I
you
brought it today.
Okay.
I brought a skillet.
Okay.
I brought
beef.
it
going
for the
old
beef
school.
so we can cook it, brown it.
Yeah.
And then I bought a pot
Okay.
so we can put it all together
Yeah.
if we want.
What are you going to cook it on?
Well, Nate brought his.
Okay, so
he's
there's
got
a
his stove.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
And then I also brought my my griddle,
Yeah.
my electric griddle that we can cook the hot dogs on if we want to.
Okay.
Or we, make them
Pan
work.
fry them or
yeah,
whatever we do. But we have buns and all that.
We've got buns and everything.
Oh
He's
my
got it all.
God.
He brought it
Brett,
all. It's
thank
sitting in
you
the
so
Pepsi
much.
fridge right now.
I
Thank
am
you, Brett.
beyond excited.
So-
Dane's going to have his first ever slop dog.
I've tried
Yeah.
to avoid it for so long.
He
I
said
don't
he
know
went
why
as
I
high
gave
class.
you guys that idea.
He went as
of what
high
to
class
call
of
them.
ingredients as he possibly could.
Oh.
I love that.
Just for Dane. Because
Yeah.
he knows Dane's super bougie when it comes to his slop dogs.
Well, it's just the loose meat that he's.
It's the consistency.
Yeah.
If it weren't for that, I'd
He
love
said
it.
it's
I'm
he
sure.
said it's something called wagyu.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something wagyu. He said it's some kind of
Wagyu.
meat that he said that Dane had.
It's guag.
Dane specifically stated it would not go in his mouth unless it was wagyu.
Yeah, I love that.
So
Joey Belinsky says just regular Haribos today, and then we have Rocky
Hey.
Iverson says as aloha TRC crew. I made my first post to IDA Grow.
I'd grow.
to the IDA group. Congrats, man.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you,
means
Rocky.
IDA group.
Yeah, nice.
I just thought
And
it
the
was an Idaho
TRC group.
pun.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Welcome to the club.
Thanks,
Rocky
man.
Iverson, man. Never
Thanks for
lets us
joining the
down.
group, by the way, too. We encourage anybody and everybody who's got questions, pop in there. We've got a great community of people happy to help. By the way, click a like on this video.
Raphael saying, hey, TRC fam, happy Friday Eve. Happy to see everyone made it back safely from their trip. Thank you, Raphael.
Thank you.
JD saying, what is up, TRC? How are you, man? Mm-hmm. Superado saying, Levi, having withdrawals over that Yellow Jackets cliffhanger season finale. Holy
So he's
crap.
been catching it.
Dude.
That show get better than being just the Golden Girls?
Man, it was so good. So, such a great season finale. Very excited to find out about the next season. Like, it left it perfectly to go like, ooh, what's going to happen
Well,
next?
the next season is it actually
Third
becomes
season.
the Golden Girls because they're going to get of that age, right?
No, it's like-
they're already breaching the edge of what,
They're-
50, 60,
no, they're
something
my
like
age.
that?
They're my
No, Levi,
age.
They are way older than
No,
that.
they're all supposed to be 43.
Well, it's Yellow Jackets, not Golden Jackets.
So
Anyway,
better
you
than
guys don't know what you're
Golden
talking
Shower,
about. Alex
Moving on.
saying,
What?
way to go, Glenn. Sick background graphic.
Thank you.
Work. And then Superado saying, super single bookend yawning today. Yeah,
Oh, no, we
sorry,
fixed
man.
that. This comment's from a while ago.
Sam Squatch, it's been a while, but I hope everyone's doing well. How you doing? Josh McKay,
hey.
good afternoon from rainy South Florida. And then Sam Squatch, wondering what you recommend for fender wells to remove grime. It's hard to get brushes in. I've heard Force does well, but at what dilution?
Sam's
Straight.
I have a whole video.
There is a whole video.
A whole video
Dedicated.
on how to clean fender wells and remove the grime.
Says it must be pure.
It's great. It has to be pure. And I'd recommend watching that because it's funny because everybody said that's a stupid idea, Anthony. Why would anybody ever want a detailing video on
What I
cleaning
said.
fender wells
I
and fender
literally said
liners?
that. I said
and
that.
then I get
They
this
figured there would be
question
like
right
5
here.
people who watched it, and then
I said
nobody
those
else.
words. I said that is a stupid.
You were
video.
very down on it.
But Force would work well, obviously. Green Star works amazing. Just anything that has a little bit of alkaline
And not
cleaning
about
power.
the cleaning. I was upset because I'm all for cleaning fender wells.
Sure.
I spray them and then I clean them. But
Yeah.
there's no reason to go any farther than that. You just spray some dressing, you're good to go.
You just figure why film it?
Anthony
Wanted
took
to
it back
restore.
to another level.
Wanted to restore it. I wanted to
Yeah.
want it to look new again.
Yeah, he took it to a completely different level.
You'll see in the
Just
video.
clean.
If you
And
haven't
the level
watched it,
and
go
the
check
level
it out.
was worth it. I would
He
do
did a
it
great
again.
job. Did a great
I'd
job.
do it again and again.
I would just say I would charge about $400 to $500 for that service. Ricardo, what's up, TRC crew?
Hey.
Nice to see everyone got home safe. Really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Thank you, man.
Ricardo.
We appreciate it. Thank you for the
Likewise.
hats,
You were
too.
awesome. My hat.
I know. I forgot mine,
Did you
too.
bring it?
My hat. No,
I brought it
it's-
today on purpose for
It's
this
on
very
my
special
shelf
occasion.
next to my elf, and
Oh.
I totally.
I told him
forgot it.
that they made me a Master of Shine one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made Dane a Great Date film ones, and then he made you an Anthony specific one.
It just says Anthony on
Yeah,
it.
it's
It's the
weird.
weirdest thing.
But it
Cool
looks
logo
cool.
though, but
I
no.
think the rest of the letters are in camo, so you can't read them.
My wife saw it and she goes, "That's a sweet hat. That's super dope."
My
And I
wife said the same thing.
I'm like, "I know, right?" And she goes, "You should get another one, and I can have it." And I go, no. I like it being a one-off.
You're like, I don't want to advertise.
It's super cool. But thank you
Thank
again,
you,
man.
Ricardo. That was super dope.
JD Garage says, just detailed a Durango with cake. That's
Caked
weird.
wheels.
Oh,
Delicious.
caked wheels. It was my
Hellcat
first
Durango.
experience with notorious Hellcat brake dust. Brakebuster and Huel did the job. Touch up missed spots with Absolute and Rag after. Yeah, dude, those brakes are no joke, man. They are. I don't
It's
know.
just like the Jeep.
Yeah, I don't know.
They
what
were working on a Hellcat Durango
SRT.
when we were at Phil's.
It's those pads, man. Whatever pads they're using, they just
Whatever the
it-
SRT pads are.
it puts off something nasty. But yeah, I feel you, dude.
You should figure that out.
Rafael Roca says, are there specific visual cues you rely on when polishing to identify stubborn, hard clear coat? I'm worried about over polishing when detailing with a more delicate clear coat.
This is a hard question, Rafa.
Every case is different.
Every case is different, but when I am polishing, make sure you have a light. So the best thing you could do is put a headlamp on.
Get the scan grip.
Yeah.
I match or whatever. Yeah, I match, right? The I match 3. That's
the
how.
headband light.
One.
Yeah.
It's the best money you'll ever spend on anything
If you could
detailing.
only have one light, make it that one.
The best thing you could do is basically build out a tape line, or even if it's just a piece of tape in the middle, or you build like 2 boxes, like what you're seeing on the screen here, with a line down the middle, and you take your pad and you polish out one side, just one little box, and you look at the light, the reflection of the light that you're polishing. You will notice that you can almost see through it. What you want is to see how that compound, how that pad is working on the surface, and then when you stop after your cycle, you wipe it off, and you look at the clarity between the various panels. So either the undone panel or that panel, but that is your test spot.
Yeah.
If you're only doing a one-step and you're using one product and one pad and you're working on that spot, you want to see if you've made any difference to that panel. If you have if you're using a heavy cut compound and a heavy cut pad, or you're using your one step and a heavy cut pad, or you're using a polish and a heavy cut pad, and nothing happens and it looks exactly the same, you have very hard clear coat. If you just barely buzz it and it finishes out nicely and it's done, wow. If you take a soft pad and a polish compound and you do that other square with it, and it still doesn't, it looks better, but now it looks like you've put other over polishing marks into it, basically, then you have very soft clear coat. You can also find out by literally just touching the paint with your finger and then wiping it, and you'll see you leave a scratch mark in it.
Speaking of which, my daughter last night, right? We were in the garage, right? I don't bring her to the garage too often.
Yeah.
Just every once in a while.
Fun
right?
times.
Fun times. And we had that rain that hit yesterday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And there was something in that rain, right? Because when I parked the car in the garage, I was looking at it. It looked like there was sap or some type of something on my hood, and I go,
sticky.
Probably should wipe that off before it settles, it hardens up. So my daughter was there in the garage with me, and she's watching me spray the hood down, and she goes up to the one part of the car that I had not wiped down that was covered in the grit and the rainwater, whatever it was, and she starts rubbing her hand, all over it, right? And I didn't notice at first. I was just like, oh, this is fine. And she was just trying to, be like me. I should have put a towel between her hand.
Should have given her a towel.
And
Eaglet.
I look over.
Eaglet 350.
And I could see that she was rubbing my front bumper, right?
Yeah.
My freshly painted front bumper, like last year, right? And I see her rubbing it, and I go, oh, God, that clear is probably so soft that she's absolutely destroyed that area. And I looked, right? To my surprise, a couple light marks.
Nice.
Nothing in there. However, other cars, you could just brush up against them.
Oh, yeah.
Instant micro-marring. You could have some gouges. You can have all sorts of different things. So, not that I say that's the best test, but you would
No,
you'll,
but that's
you'll know
that's honestly
the
how
more you experiment with clear coat, the more you work with other cars
and
and vehicles.
This
you
goes
start
back to
notice
that. Get a hood. Go get a couple hoods. Take them to a body shop. Have one of them literally say, like, do not put any hardener in a clear on this one.
Put some hardener in it.
Or
you need some.
A little bit, but you can get it so you can have it soft.
Yeah.
And you can have another one that you can have hard as a rock. You can go put as much hardener as you can so that you can play with it. You can see the differences in them. And you can go, this is a hard hood. Let me see what I can do, or try different techniques.
Well, Jimmy, for example, on his car that he got painted, he had him put as much hardener as he could into that paint, right?
Nothing breaks it.
We couldn't even, we were hitting it with 3,000 grit, right? It was barely marring it. It wasn't even like cutting it. We were like, what in the actual heck is going on? So we jumped down to like, I think 1,000 just so we could actually remove a little bit of orange peel out of it. I mean, that's way too low for what we typically will do around here. And and then we saw he has some drip marks. He has some runs on the back of his hood.
Yeah.
Those runs are like glass.
Yeah.
You can't even, I don't even know how you could razor blade that off. It's that hard. It's crazy. So,
You need like a sand jet to just go bzzz.
something. But anyways, Tom's got another question here. He says,
Like
I
wet cement.
have a truck scheduled for detailing, and they plan on applying new stickers onto it once I'm finished. Do you think the stickers will stick to a newly coated, probably sealed paint? I wouldn't do it like that. I would probably, depending on where the stickers are going, have everything polished, everything cleaned up, have them apply the stickers, and then coat over the top.
Yeah.
The only reason I say that is because stickers can be expensive, and for any reason that sticker does not stick to it, they could be out, anywhere from $20 to several $100s, right?
Yeah, or any more than that. If it's like a business, like you said, it's a work truck.
Yeah.
If they're doing a design down the side of it, or it's a half wrap, or
Something
just
that.
even side stripes and a logo and side stripes, like it's still money.
Money, dude.
That's
Yeah,
still
money.
going to be close to anywhere from, like you said, could be $200, could be $1,500, could be $2,000.
Yeah, you never
And
know.
they're getting you to clean it up so they can re-sticker it or re-logo the truck. I would reach out to them and say, look, if they go with a coating, wait till it's wrapped.
Yeah.
Clean it up, detail it, go, here you go, it's good to go. You can spray a quick detailer on it or whatever and just say, hey, take it over. Have them put the stickers on it, then you just clean it again and coat it again for them. That way they don't, because they're going to hit it with alcohol.
Yeah.
They're going to prep the surface with alcohol regardless. So they're going to pull whatever wax or sealant you've put on there. So make sure of that. However, if you're using like an SiO2 sealant or anything like that, I wouldn't go with that. I would try and stay in the Carnauba and polymer-based sealants before doing anything like that, because they are going to have a harder time removing that. And then they'll be upset if they can't get the stickers to stick.
Very true. Next up here, we've got
Alex.
Alex, Alex, everybody's saying hi. And we've got Coach Kimmy in the house. Let's go.
Let's go.
I don't know who that is.
Tom,
It's a Coach joke.
Oh, gotcha.
should I advise them to panel wipe the spots they plan on applying the stickers to? Yes. Yeah, that or just alcohol.
Yeah.
Alcohol and water. Same thing. Glenn Dennis saying, Ricardo, how are you? Super Auto Atlanta would be much better for the KCX TRC. Hint.
He really doesn't want to travel.
I do love myself some Georgia. I do
love it. I was just saying
I like
it was
going
a
to
shower thought.
The
he
road
threw
to
something
Cumming.
out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
The Hardman Highway.
The Hardman
Yeah.
Highway on the road to Cumming.
Seriously,
It's a
who
good
named
road.
that?
Beautiful road.
Cumming's beautiful as well.
Yeah. Well, it was fun when we were all together.
Yep.
So I had an idea. Because we were
Never
spending
drink
time
alone.
with the KCX boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying, what if we hosted, like here, one of their distributor trainings for all their local and area distributors? Pacific Northwest, West Coast, Mid-East,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Midwest.
So this thing, I
Bring them over
it's
here,
just-
and we do it, you and I,
we do it
Yeah.
here.
with them, but we do it on all the Kosh Chemi products for those guys selling Kosh Chemi
You're
products.
saying here?
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying here. Okay.
Right
I thought you were
at
talking about another
home, at
trip.
TRC.
And I was going to say,
No, we don't have to go anywhere. We come here.
the East Coast Adventure next year, you know what it could turn into? It could turn into the
Oh.
Deep South Adventure. Actually, no. It has to be the deep South because we got California, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously,
San
the
Diego.
true Deep South.
Phoenix.
Yeah. Things
know.
like around there, and maybe a little bit of New Mexico, right?
We go to Tempe, visit Dixon Flannel,
Albuquerque.
Nice.
You know,
Albuquerque, that kind of
But
stuff.
like I
We
do,
do
I,
need to do a
I
southern
do
trip
want to go
sometime.
down, and I want to probably host a training event like in a swamp, preferably.
Literally in a swamp.
Yeah,
Like on a floating platform with a car
like
on it.
like the Everglades or something like
Okay.
that. You know what I mean?
Your audience is just
Yeah.
gators.
The Everglades of Arizona.
Yeah, something like that. I'm thinking just going down
Santa
there
Fe.
because I want some crawfish, man. I want to eat some crawfish. I want to have myself a boil. I know that you want other delicious southern foods, preferably without shellfish, right?
Yeah. Hot dogs, hamburgers.
Jamie,
Big fan
if
of
you're in the
Southern
audience,
cuisine.
can you hook us up with some cool ideas, please? Thank you.
We can go to Jamie's house.
Let's just go to
let's
Jamie's
go to
house and just
Jamie's.
invite
Let's go to-
ourselves.
Kind of that way. Tom saying, what's up, Glenn and Ricardo?
Hey.
Antoine saying, afternoon, got the wife's honeydew list done. Lord forbid the kids don't get their pool passes. Now cleaning tools while watching in the garage for this weekend's detail. Nice. That's what I got to do. Get my place cleaned up. I got a detail this weekend.
Got a job to
get
do.
ready. Simon saying, yeehaw from the Birch.
Hey.
I never thought I'd hear him say that.
Yeah.
Glenn saying, hey, Tom, how are you? And then Hans saying, no. # bring Levi to Waxstock.
I know. I'm
Sorry,
Hansi.
Ryan saying, I've learned so much about detailing from this podcast, but I think the most important thing is the use of a tongue scraper. Holy cow. So clean now.
Right.
Look at that,
nice.
Ryan. Blowing minds, right?
Life-changing. It's life-changing. And you wonder, how did you go that long in your entire life without a tongue scraper?
When were they invented?
Yeah.
Dane,
All I know is it hits my gag reflex pretty hard.
That's good. It's healthy, right? It's healthy just to hit that probably once or twice a day.
It's like the rev limiter. That's how I see
is.
it.
Yep.
It's like
Smacking
VTech.
into your uvula.
You got to blow out the cobwebs every once in a while.
But tongue
if you got
scraper,
cobwebs back there, you got other problems.
I wish when I first found out about the tongue scrapers, because they were kind of just starting to kind of make their
prominence.
way, right? There wasn't a whole lot of options out there, right? Orbit was doing it.
There weren't a lot of people doing the tongue scraper thing.
No, there wasn't a lot of people doing it. I wish that I would have created my own tongue scraper brand. And
Still can.
I still can, but I don't think I can improve upon what they're already doing. And now they have all the metal ones on Amazon, which I don't want to mess with either because those are
That looks like a
dangerous.
recipe for ow.
I don't know. Like a carbon fiber tongue scraper?
Ooh.
That would be kind of sick, right?
Like an ADA spec
Yeah.
tongue
but, like,
scraper.
That would be kind of like...
it's like a
an
reverse
American Dental Association spec tongue scraper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it looks like a reverse gurney flap, and you're just dragging it on your tongue.
Dane, you're giving me some ideas
See?
right now.
All right.
It's going.
Ricardo B saying anytime, guys, no worries. Alex says, is the Anthony hat Larry Miller Honda branded? Yes. Joey Belitsky says, sorry to disappoint you, Levi. I'll be there next time. Not a problem. I had said that as one person I wish would have been on the East Coast Adventure with us, and I was surprised he didn't make it.
He's just on the wrong side of the
3,000
country.
miles. And then Super Auto Anthony is tired of being the only snack in the house. And then Quality Touch, product like Forster Polestar can that sit in an IK trigger sprayer for a while? Yeah, it can. You just don't want to have it like charged.
Yeah.
That's all. Super Auto yawning bookends. Levi is one ahead of you already, Anthony.
It's okay because I, as tired as I am today from pulling the dad duty thing, I will say it's somewhat refreshing to come in here in the afternoon. Like I could totally work. I could work at 2 to 10 here.
You think you could?
Yeah.
2 p.m. to 10 p.m. That'd actually be Dane's ideal shift, I think, actually.
Not a morning person here, but I would happily work late.
Dane actually moved closer and actually shows up later.
Yeah. I feel like I can push it that much more, and then every time I do it, I'm just like, wow, I really screwed that up.
When he lived really far away, he would still get in at like 9:05, and he would get so mad if anybody called him on it.
Yep.
But now he lives 5 minutes away, and he still shows up at 9:15, 9:20 every day.
Okay,
pretty
that's
crazy.
an exaggeration.
It's
I got
pretty crazy.
here at 8:55 this morning.
Yeah.
Also, previous day, got here at 7:45.
Yeah.
8:45, sorry. That would be very different. Oh my God, that would be Gabe at that
I'm
point.
amazed you got there that early.
We got Alex that says, you should know, Anthony, nearing summer means construction, so rock that second gen. Could have hit that drop at 60.
Yeah.
My dash would
You
have
know
been
your
gone.
dash would just dust instantly.
No, it is. It's kind of crazy. The construction around here, it's intermittent. It's like it's not always a thing. Like for example, Nampa, right? They've been working on that freeway for 15 years. 15 years, still not done.
Yeah,
it's an absolute nightmare. But over here in Boise, they've probably redone Eagle Road 5, 6, 7 times in the last 15 years. Every 3 years.
They started East End Boise.
Did they?
Broadway Avenue.
Yeah.
They filled the potholes.
Oh my God, that's the first.
Some of them.
It's been 3, 4, 5 years.
Some of them.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to start construction and chip seal and reseal of Broadway Avenue.
That's gonna mess that.
The ones by Flying Pie are still terrible.
They're redoing that. They're getting ready to start doing Boise Avenue again.
Oh, interesting.
They're also getting ready to do My Street.
Ooh.
Harmony Avenue
Wow.
is going to get chip sealed.
The little foresty section.
My Street.
I can't wait for Augie to go grab all that chip seal.
He's going to he's going to go walk around when
He's
they
gonna
spray
find
the
a-
oil. and he's going to like climb in the car and put his feet all over the seats, the tan seats in the Fusion.
No, in the middle of the night, he's going to go and find one of those
So he's
scrapers.
also going to grab those rocks and just huck them.
A scraper or a bulldozer. He's going to find one that still has the key in it, and he's going to drive it off in the middle of the night and wreak havoc.
I wouldn't mind that. I think
take out a neighbor's shed, maybe a tree or two.
I would have loved
driving around a backhoe and just killing it.
Yeah.
So,
but they came through my street and sealed, and he's going around picking up pieces of asphalt.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, I will say though, what they need to do, they need to probably demolish the entire east end or downtown of Boise's roads, right?
Oh, okay, the roads.
And then rebuild them to where they are higher than what they currently are. Every single parking lot you get into, in my opinion, on like Broadway, is like going off road.
If you're in a low car, it's
you
bad.
are climbing
it's
up
bad.
something every single time.
Over by the Burger Belly, where you have that entrance on the side of the road, the way it curves,
you know what the
and then it
worst one
leads
is?
into that parking lot. It's like this.
The worst one is Idaho Pizza Company.
Oh, that one's bad.
Oh yeah, it's pretty bad. However, I will say
Straight up lifting a
This
wheel.
is very localized.
I am complaining.
ranting.
I'm complaining about something that, in comparison to New York and New Jersey, is child's play. That is true.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know how you guys drive your cars over there. I would be absolutely terrified.
With a low car, that is just...
Well, they just do. They just send it.
They just send it, right?
You just accept the fact that your car's taking its life into its hands every time.
Phil was telling me he had a guy, like, because his road, beautiful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous new road.
It got repaved at some point.
Got wholly redone. He had a guy literally drive down in his brand new Alfa Romeo, blow a tire, damage a wheel, $1,600.
Yeah.
Guy had the car for like a day and was driving to Phil's to drop it off.
Yeah.
Blew a tire and wheel, and then turned around and said, "No, I'm not coming." Like, they had to send a tow truck to pick up the car, and he canceled his appointment. He's like, "Bro, I'm not doing this."
Those are some of my
feels
favorite
like
stock wheels on a car.
He said his whole neighborhood had to write the city to literally get that road fixed because they were having customers couldn't drive down it.
It's a horrible
Because it was
road.
so bad back then.
Road.
That's
Peter
rough.
Judge says, how would you compare C2V3 and Hyperseal? So in a nutshell, C2V3, I would say, has a decent look to it. I think it has a good feel to it. It's slick, and I would say that the overall durability of it is not bad, especially when you're putting it on top of like XO or CSL or something kind of within that family. On its own, C2V3 can hold up pretty well on its own if you do all the prep steps. Hyperseal has, I believe, in my opinion, I think it has a better look on most vehicles. But from a slickness standpoint, C2V3 beats out Hyperseal. C2V3 is more slick than Hyperseal. But Hyperseal is arguably easier to apply, or a little more goes a long way. I mean, I could probably argue that point because of how it flashes off and how easy it is to spread. I mean, it's literally as easy as one quick spray, wipe one area, flip the towel, wipe it over again, and it's done. And it's like almost impossible to get a high spot or to build up too much product with Hyperseal. I've never had an issue where I've had streakiness with that product. But in terms of durability, though, again, I think that they're probably comparable, maybe Hyperseal a little bit more so. But in terms of the water behavior, C2V3 may have more pretty beating than Hyperseal will have.
Okay, yeah,
Probably.
That's a fair assessment.
Probably.
What do you think?
Agreed.
Okay.
Hans closing with hashtag Dane the Curb Crusher.
Crush them curbs.
And then Alex Dwar says, nearly total dat booty with the curb incident. I love you, Dane. Alex
It was
says,
close.
40,237 cars over the last 962 years.
That sounds reasonable.
It's not that high. And we're talking really like 27 years. 40,237 over the last 27 years. Grant Hawtrey saying, love the new layout.
Agreed.
I
It's
do
fun.
too,
Nice.
man. I can
Very
actually
cool.
read this 10 times easier.
You killed it, Glenn. You did great.
Good job, Glenn. Rag Company says, claims a claim.
Disagree.
Joey
They're
Belinsky says
different.
Alex Dwar only about 40 cars a year, totally doable. Fazal, I actually lost my car insurance due to a windshield claim. They said I had the wrong date of incident.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what happens is you don't file claims, guys, unless
Wow,
you really
picky.
need to.
That's what would happen to Dane, though. He would literally
He would, and then
like
he'd
his
get
insurance
canceled
would
from
call
his
and say, "Hey,
insurance.
we're canceling your insurance." Dane would lose it.
Oh, he'd be
Dane,
so mad.
I don't think you'd be able
You ever
to
been
handle that
canceled?
kind of
You ever been canceled by an
rejection.
insurance company?
No, I
Really?
haven't. No.
I've had like 5 companies cancel.
I actually haven't. I don't want to know what that feels like, but I did.
Doesn't feel like anything. You just call another insurance company and they insure you.
No,
Well, I literally
feel like anything.
just changed all of my stuff over on Tuesday. So
what?
Now,
Join the State Farm crew like Anthony and I?
no, I've always been State Farm. Turns out they were majorly gouging me. So
Where'd you
I'm
go?
saving $1,000 a year now.
Where'd you go?
I went over to connect with American Family through Costco.
No, I left American Family. Well, American Family canceled me, and so
So
I got
you
on the
went.
State
So you
Farm.
went through American Family, and they're doing they do you pretty well.
Specifically their Connect program because I'm an executive Costco member. So they did the
Must be
thing.
nice.
Gotcha.
It's just a small fee every year, but
Yeah.
it seemed worth it. Like once I put it together, I was like, "Oh my god, this is
Nice,
so much."
yeah.
Because when I was asking, I was like, "What's the price?" And they go, "Oh, it's this much." And I was like, "Okay, but this one was more." And they go, "No, that's for both vehicles." And I went, "What?"
So what do you? So what do you
Was it
do?
'cause you have an
did
SR22?
Did you do this online?
No, I called the number. I got an
Are you
email.
using Nancy Uli and Meridian?
No, this
American
was
Family?
all through the email through
Okay.
Cosco's
Wow.
thing. So
Very cool, Dane.
It worked though.
Congrats,
I'm not
Dane.
advertising
Proud
for
of
them.
you.
It just literally for me it
Yeah.
worked.
I was with them
So,
for the last 18 years. Great company.
Really?
I've been with
Wonderful
State
company.
Farm for almost 15 years, and I just when I switched over to the F-Type after the XKR, the price just went because it's a newer car, or whatever. I'm like, there's got to be a better option
Yeah.
out there, and
I
there
have,
was.
I have no,
So,
I have no, what's it called, allegiance to any,
Yeah.
to any insurance
Yeah,
company.
you're very.
I think of all of
add
my
it, cancel it,
cars.
shift it,
I
liability
have three, I have
change.
three different insurances, right? And people go, why don't you combine them? I've tried, I've done the math,
it's actually
right?
not
And
cheaper.
It's not cheaper.
Yeah,
and
all
so,
four of my vehicles are $230 a month for all
pretty good.
four.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's very cheap.
Like I said, State Farm's been treating me well with those things. Progressive and Geico treat me well with the other things. So shop around. Doesn't hurt. Grant Hawtrey says, got a question. Best towels for the following, which are available from TRC. Windows, compound, wax, interiors. So windows, I would say maybe in terms of the best.
Pearls
right?
and FTWs,
You
I
have-
think.
What's that?
I like pearls and FTWs for
Pearls,
windows.
FTWs, diamond glass, and then our traditional Korean waffle weave or standard waffle weave. Compound, I'm going to say edgeless 365. You've got your Creature edgeless, you have your Spectrums, and I'd also throw in probably the FTW since people love using those so much. But even a car wash towel would be great. Wax, depending on the wax, depending on how grabby it is, you can go with an Eagle 500, you can go with Everest 550, also go again with an FTW, 365, Creature, all of those. Basically, whenever it comes to something that's going to be more grabby in general, can like on the surface that has product built up, I will go with something with a shorter pile that has more bite.
More aggressive.
Interiors, 365s, Pearls, Creatures, and again, car wash towels, edgeless 300s. There's anything that's short and app like that.
Yeah.
Glenn says he's not reacher height though.
Oh.
Glenn,
Close.
to Dane,
You're
to
up
Dane
there.
you are.
To
Yeah.
me, it might as well be.
Daytona Wallace, I
I'm
have
Tom Cruise
foam
height, so.
coming out of one of my IK Foam Pros. That's good. Is there anything I can do to fix this? When you're not pulling the trigger?
Does he say that?
I was just say there's foam
Supposed
coming
to
out
have
of a
foam
foam
come
Pro.
out of the
I would
Foam Pro.
hope so.
Ideally, that's what you want, Daytona.
yeah.
Elaborate just a little bit more, and we'll be able to.
I'm assuming he
hopefully we'll
means
help you out.
when it's not being used,
Yeah.
which would be an issue if there's like pressure forcing it out of
Yeah.
a seal or something.
JD Garage.
Let us know.
Levi, what tips do you have to avoid getting burned out when doing a full detail, but at the same time staying time efficient? I've been finding myself getting burned out when doing both interiors and exteriors. JD, what are you listening to? That's the first thing.
You should listen to movies.
What are you listening to? Seriously.
You do like
Anthony
doing that.
likes listening to movies because that's the way his brain works.
You like
I
storybooks.
listen to audiobooks.
Yeah.
So I have found that I'm able to get into the audiobook because I go into muscle memory when I'm working and cleaning. So I can focus on the story at hand. Podcasts, I used to do podcasts. The problem is they're just not long enough. I have to get into podcasts that are serial podcasts that are also very story-like. So, and I need them to be at least an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours.
It depends because the podcasts I listen to are like 2 hours plus.
Right. Those are the only times I can do that.
Okay.
I can't listen to like a 30-minute podcast because
Okay, yeah.
I don't like when it ends and I look at where I'm at.
Like a
and go,
99%
"Oh, crap."
invisible where it's over in like
I don't know what
20
that's
minutes.
called. But anyway, I get to that
It's an engaging
30-minute podcast I can't do. Or music. I can't do music. I can't have a radio playing in the background. I can't have stuff going. I will, on my own, in my shop now, in my garage, I have the TV on. I usually do one of those fireplace apps or YouTube fireplaces. Yeah. And I just play that, but it's the live shot, not like the digitally made.
Right.
It's like someone went to this mountain and made
Somebody
a fire,
filmed
it for 4 hours because I don't need to put the sound on.
Yeah,
I just let it play.
There's probably a loop sneakily.
Maybe,
done
but I
there.
just put that on because they're like 4 to 5 hours sometimes. I let that play, then it just goes, and then I put in an audiobook. And if you can get into a series and get that series going, like right now I'm in Jack Reacher. I'm in the Jack Reacher series. I'm on book like 16 or 17 of the series. I'm on night school. And
I can't believe they're able to make that many.
If you can keep a series going, it helps, or find books. So I did all the Lord of the Rings books. I did all the Game of Thrones books.
Yeah.
I did all the Jack Reacher series. I've done...
the Bourne series is really
You could do the
long.
Bourne series. You could do even...
Bond series is pretty
There's
long.
a lot of Neil Gaiman. You can get a lot of his.
But maybe he doesn't like having things
I'm just
in
saying.
his ears, right?
Yeah.
We're throwing out a lot of just one option.
There's just different
Yeah.
things. But that's but to keep me time efficient, if I don't have to stop to start a next podcast, if I don't have to stop to start something else, and I can just play and I can just work and get it done, I actually look forward to listening to my audiobook. If that makes sense. I look forward to that.
Question about that. So just for
And I
everybody
use audible.com
listening,
for that.
if you're in a similar position to like what you're doing, or even what you're doing, you listen to movies and stuff like that. If you're listening and you're just kind of in the zone, you're doing that stuff, do you feel the fatigue as much as long as you're not actively paying attention to what you're doing? You're just operating off muscle memory. Does it feel less fatiguing?
No, because
to do?
I use a different part of my brain.
Okay.
Like when I'm working. And
I'm just asking you guys.
Somebody
too.
else
What do
is
you
driving.
Someone else is driving
while you're enjoying the podcast.
Exactly.
Dexter,
And that's
your dark passenger is just doing all the work.
No, but that's what I'm doing. The other thing, frozen novelties.
Oh, okay.
Ice novelties. There's a lot of us that if we're detailing a car from your shop and it's just work, you're just getting it done.
Yeah.
Add something. Get a fridge or a freezer. Throw some popsicles in there. Throw something that you can stop, take a break, change out in. Some people have candy. Some people have stuff. I used to stop, take a break, like when I get to a stopping point, and I would get in my car and I would drive to the gas station. Now, I own the business, but I told my guys they could all have that same. They could do that.
Yeah.
If they need a break, take a break. Step away from the car.
Plenty of those guys
Is it
also
hard to
probably
start
smoke
again,
cigarettes
though?
as well.
Yeah, they go out, they'd have a cigarette. Maybe they'd go, are you running to the grocery store? Are you going to the gas station? Get me a couple sodas or get me this. Okay.
Sure.
Run and go grab that. Do a soda run for the gang.
Nobody minds as long as you're getting
I'd
the
buy
job
ice
done.
cream and put it in the freezer at work just so that I could I'm going to stop. I'm going to have a fudgesicle.
Well, what I would say is
Right?
that basically give yourself something to look forward to that you
Yeah.
enjoy to make the job maybe just a little bit better, right? I love myself a good kombucha, right? I think that's just delicious. That vinegary taste of whatever it is, I just love that, and it quenches my thirst. So maybe I have one of those sitting in the fridge, right, waiting for me. I'm like, you know what? I really want to go crack that thing open, right? Maybe I open up a fresh bag, or no, not a fresh bag. Maybe I find a bag of stale gummies, right?
that you've hidden.
that I can kind of keep going on, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Or you know what? Maybe I might splurge, right? The cost of beef jerky is ridiculous, right? I
Kinda
hate
crazy.
buying beef jerky, but if I'm making close to $1,000 on a detail,
You're
then I
gonna
can
spend $10
I can
on
say I'm going to buy a $15 bag of jerky and I'm going to enjoy that and and get after it. So things to think about.
Little
So,
things.
anyways, we have reached
on that note,
yes.
we are at the break point.
That's literally what he was
That's
saying.
That's what he's
saying.
Okay, I was
That's
just
where
making sure. I thought he was
going.
going to read another comment.
No, we are at the halfway point,
Yes.
which means you're going to get a couple of our favorite ads that maybe we have created or maybe some of our distributors have created. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll see you here in just a few minutes.
Holy cow! Wow! Dane, that was amazing!
Dane, I didn't know you could do any of that stuff.
Neither did I.
Wow.
Well, now that you're an actual bartender,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe whip us up some Mr.
Oh,
Cocktail.
yeah.
I mean,
Dane, do it.
I mean, it's my first day, but let me see what I can whip up.
Nice.
Oh! I can't believe it. What?
Jeez, Dane.
What?
Oh, my God.
is pretty amazing.
Looking for feedback. Let me know what you think.
Oh my God. Stuff smells amazing.
Good, all right.
Well, Levi, Dane, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Nice.
Bottoms up.
Cheers.
Thanks, Dane.
Oh my God! God, why are you spitting my drink up? I worked hard on that.
What is in it? Is that polymers?
My mouth is encapsulating.
Why would you even know what polymers taste like?
Tastes like chemicals. Did you feed us chemicals?
What did you put in this?
I made you a nice drink. Oh. These are supposed to be nice. Oh, guys, that's my car.
What?
You hit my car. God, guys, if you didn't want the drinks, you could have just given them back to me or something.
Dane.
Are you seeing that shine over there? On the car.
Oh my God. Dane, what did you put in that stuff?
What, in your drinks?
Yeah.
Some water and some Absolute.
Absolute vodka?
No? PNS Double Black Absolute Rinseless. Wow.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to poison us?
Dane, did you just make us drink rinseless wash?
No, definitely didn't do that.
Absolute Rinseless Wash is not for oral or suppository consumption.
Looks pretty good.
It does, however, leave a hell of a clean and smooth surface on your vehicle.
Wow.
PNS Absolute Rinseless Wash. Mix responsibly.
Is that something?
I mean, it's pretty good. I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm kind of liking this.
Yeah.
So just don't drink it.
No.
Yeah, let's make sure we don't drink it for the future.
But do put it on cars.
Yeah, it's good. It's for
Put
cars.
it on a car. Okay.
Not inside yet. All right, guys, we need to come up with the best commercial for our friends at Home to Sweets. So, what ideas do you got?
Ooh, I have one. Okay. All right. Picture this. Drone shot. 3/4 angle.
Yeah.
Home to Sweets sign.
Yes.
And the large parking garage that puts you out right next to your room.
We cannot do that. For the last time, Glenn, you're an unlicensed operator, and we can't fly in Class C airspace.
Buzzkill.
Yeah, that is a problem. Okay, pivot.
The general store.
Yeah.
Right, that's something. They have chips, ice cream, souvenirs, whatever you need.
Excuse me, sir. You still have to pay for those. Sir, hey, get back here.
How would you say the breakfast is there?
Delicious. Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah.
I like it. But I also want to highlight the rooms.
Oh, of course.
One of the most important parts. The beds are huge. You have an area for your laptop so you can type some things up. But also, one of my favorite parts are hands down the bathrooms.
Gum, sir.
Don't mind if I do.
Cologne.
Yes, please.
So, Anthony, I don't know how to tell you this, but there are no bathroom attendants at the Home to Sweets.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, all right. I can agree on that, right? But the cologne can stay.
Maybe if you packed it in your bag.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But that's besides the point, right? The Home to Sweets is right next to a Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's offers a wide variety of fine meats, cheeses, and wine for a romantic night out.
I like that.
Right? Yeah. Make use of that kitchenette.
Of course, that's genius.
Ooh, what about the pool?
Yeah, the pool.
And of course, after a long, hard day, it's always nice to be able to relax in the pool. I don't really know how to swim, but this is just as relaxing.
Sir, the pool is only 4 feet deep.
Yeah, me and bodies of water don't really get along too well. Also, they have a gym. You know, we all know how hard it is to stay in shape, and you know, when you're on the road, you're eating those dinners.
But look, I think that we can all agree the Home Suites is a very nice place.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's also very welcoming. It's got a great staff. They're always available to help you.
Good vibes. Good
And
vibes.
it's right in the heart of downtown.
It's also good vibes.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys knew this, they were rated #1 hotel in Boise by TripAdvisor.
Oh, that's very prestigious.
Pretty amazing, right?
That's great. Yeah.
So fancy.
Hey, it's so
feel
fancy.
like a real TV show.
Yeah,
That does look like a real
feeling
TV
very
show.
official.
Well,
Glenn, you killed it.
At
seriously.
first, I just saw the photo of you two, and I was like, oh, I didn't make it. And then I saw myself. I go, I made it.
You
Right?
did. And then the second version
It's
of
okay.
yourself
Don't
again.
worry. You're the main character
each
in
got
your
to be in
story.
it
You'll be all
twice.
right.
Dang, that's not true at all. Anyways, jumping back into the second half where things are going to start getting a little weird, right? And
As if they hadn't already.
I will say thank you to everybody that saw my post in the Facebook group of me on the hunt for Trish. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
You went out for a walk?
sometimes I go out
trying.
walking the dogs at night,
Walking
that
the
looking for a
mean
friend.
streets of Meridian.
blasting Trivium, hoping to just get a glimpse of that Dodge Ram again, right, with the damage on it, and be like, where is that
Wait,
truck?
was it
Where's
Dodge Ram or
Trish?
Silverado?
Hopefully she was able to
was
move
Dodge
on,
Ram.
found a place to live, able to get going.
Well,
with her life.
hopefully she didn't have to smoke in secrecy anymore. Chain smoke in secrecy, I should say, right? But yeah, I was thinking back to that the other night. That was so funny, man. When I had no idea that was a woman, let alone, somebody that just wanted to be alone.
Just wanted to smoke and listen to some tunes.
Get away from her
I thought I was
mom.
really I'm about to go,
So he's stalking
I'm about to
you.
go start something right now. And then I went out there just to see. She's just like, oh, hey. What music do you like? I'm like, what? What's going on? And we both got to listen to that Trivium song for the first time together, right?
Dude, you were on the edge of your seat wondering
the
what was
funniest
going to
thing.
happen.
Still the funniest
Give me a
story.
band. I don't know, Trivium. But she's like, yeah, this song.
Have you ever listened to 'em before?
Let's-
Nope.
Let's both listen to
just
it
heard of
together. So whenever I play it, I think about how both of us, she's looking at me air guitar, kind of like, yeah. And I'm
This
just
is
like,
awesome.
and I'm also like, yeah, this is actually pretty good.
Glenn, you got the comments?
Graham
so help us
Marshall.
out. Graham Marshall.
Saying happy. Oh, okay.
Don't
We already
worry.
did
I
that
got
one.
it.
Thank
Here
you,
we
Dan.
go.
Graham Marshall saying happy Friday Eve, lads. I have to say slightly gutted that the lads won't be at Wax. Well, the ads will be.
Yes, the
they'll
ads
be there.
will be there.
Be at Wax Pack. I was
It's
hoping to
actually
get a full set photograph this
the
year.
Jads.
It's the Jads. Josh,
Jads.
Anthony, and Dane
And Jimmy.
The double Jads.
The double Jads.
The judge.
Yeah.
judge,
They'll be there. And hey,
jury, and
hey Graham, you
executioner.
got me and Anthony in that one. This year, you could get you and Anthony and Dane, or you could just get Dane and Jimmy and Josh.
Regardless, I'm still.
Then you'd have a full set when you put them on your mantle.
Okay.
Graham, I'm still very much looking forward to at least one.
Maybe a
one
bottle of
Iron Brew
Extra?
one of the Iron Brew Extra. Just we
I don't
don't.
think you're gonna have time for a full case.
I don't have Levi with me, so we can't put down a case. I just need probably one bottle. And
What
I'll
was
be
that new
super
flavor
happy.
you showed me? Or was it you
Oh,
who showed me?
the tropical
Yeah.
Iron Brew.
Very
Yeah, I don't
curious
want
about
that.
They have
that.
a new one.
I want that original. I want the
You want
original.
the what, like
know
a
what that tastes
1901
like.
bottle?
No. Sorry, I don't want the original. I want the extra, just the normal Iron
Sugar-free.
Brew Extra.
Yeah.
Call it good.
Good stuff.
I want to try that tropical.
Delicious. Alex Dewar says vasectomies and tools in your mouth. My goodness. We're
It's been a
51
show.
minutes behind in comments. So
Good
I'm going to blast
lordy.
through some of these just to get our party started.
Oh, don't worry.
Grant
They've been a little
Hawtrey
slow.
saying, Dane, going in for facial reconstruction surgery like Krusty the Clown and cutting out. with
Oh,
big
no.
boobs.
Okay. Thank you, Grant.
Eric Beasley saying, what's up
Already
from
there,
swampy,
buddy.
humid Louisiana?
Oh, Eric, I could feel that right now, just
Yeah.
envisioning it, and I don't want that.
Glenn Dennis says, only Q&A Thursday for a tools in the mouth comment.
It's just that kind of show. Sorry, guys.
Alex Dewar says, eating in the back of the Flex is much better than dealing with the Crisco situation on the wheel and shifter. Time for a massive battery-powered Bluetooth speaker from Costco.
Just strap a big
With
battery
lights.
back there.
Yeah. Josh McKay saying, hey guys, any suggestions on removing mold for my F-150's roof rain gutters? Ultra Clay towel didn't remove it. You're going to need to get some sort of
go more
degreaser
aggressive.
or detergent that can actually clean that. They do make mold removers, but it's bleach, and I don't
Gotta be careful on
recommend
your
that
paint
on a
there.
lot of stuff, especially your clothes. But I would probably take something like Forced and some Detail Factory brushes.
Forced or Power Clean.
Or Power Clean,
Green
and get in
Star
and
can do
scrub that.
Yeah.
Just get those things scrubbed. You got to spray it, agitate it, pressure wash it.
Yeah,
It
you
should
could
get
also
hot.
like try to soften it up because sometimes that mold could be really,
it's like
really
artillery
stuck
bolts
on there. You
just
could try to
stuck.
soften up. Put a couple of hot towels on there, or soaked in O&R or APC, and just kind of let them sit
hot
there.
water.
Sit there just for a minute or two, then yank them, then scrub.
Yeah.
Peter Brookins says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Applied DB36 over the weekend. It was a great experience. Now, the prep took a while. Came across extremely hard clear coat for the first time and learned a lot. Peter, that's awesome, man.
Glad you're trying that.
And then we have Rocky Iverson says he's officially an IDA, CD, and SV member. Wow.
Very nice.
Great job,
Congratulations,
Rocky.
Rocky.
Great job.
Congrats.
Glenn Davis says, or Glenn Dennis, what am I saying? Says, going retro this weekend with a detail and coating on a black 85 Fiero.
Ooh, that actually sounds fun.
Dude, I love Fieros, man. I think they're so cool.
Oh, they used to be cheap. What happened?
Peter Brookins saying, what pad and compound combination have you found successful with really hard clear coat? I use Jescar Correct and Compound and Perfect Finish. We're just big fans of using the Last Cut series. Having those in there really do work on a lot of different situations. But in reality, you could always have something like H902 or Fine Cut in the arsenal as well for when you get into those types of situations.
For the pads, I'd probably say, the Rupes yellow wool, the Rupes blue coarse wool. Man, that can cut hard clear like crazy.
Microfibers, the Rupes microfibers are really nice too.
Yeah,
for that.
Try that. Demo says, welcome back, everyone. Used PNS Inspiration Soul twice this week as toppers. Fell in love with it. Easy peasy to use.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
crazy.
smell is
It's
like
crazy how easy.
The smell is like you're like at a day spa, right?
Yeah.
It's that like menthol peppermint smell. I feel like I'm getting pampered whenever I'm using that.
Nice.
Right?
Really
It's
nice.
Wow.
Scott Matter.
Hey fellas, good afternoon everyone. I found a spot of mold growing on my sister's back seat that is normally covered by a child's car seat.
Oh, boy.
Any tips to clean the mold on the upholstery? Yeah, clean it. Just clean it, scrub it, steam it, put it out in the sun if you can, and
Kill
try
it.
and open it up just to kill it.
There's also
Open it
antibacterial
up.
products you can use for the interior.
Yeah, you can grab some TriClean
Yeah,
AB.
TriClean would be a nice suggestion.
But the biggest thing is just cleaning the area. Get it clean, get it removed, steam it if you have a steamer. You want to try and just vacuum it up, scrub it, clean it, or wipe it with a towel.
TriClean would make sense.
Well, for the mold in the Montero,
Yeah.
I use TriClean,
Yeah,
and it worked
it's
great.
very quick. Yeah, and it will keep it from coming back.
Yeah, the biggest thing is just making sure the interior is dry and the windows are cracked so that doesn't happen. What probably happened was whatever that car seat cover that is on there doesn't allow liquid to breathe, or liquid to dry, doesn't allow the fabric to breathe. So it's probably not permeable, and that's what caused it. So it just encapsulated and kept it wet.
Carson Black, local stance and detailing enthusiast, says, "Hey guys."
Hey, what's up,
And then we
Carson?
have Joey Belinsky says, "Shout out to Aaron. Helped with a shipping issue. Give him a raise." Okay, well,
Aaron's a great guy.
Okay.
Aaron,
He's new, but he's already doing a great job.
you're getting a raise right now. We're just,
Look at that, Joey.
Well,
Just
hopefully raising
amazingly-
you up.
We're raising
Yes.
you up
emotionally.
not financially
Okay.
though. We don't have the power.
we don't.
Alex Dewar says, "Nothing like clearance Winco ground beef and craft singles for top quality meats."
That's
Jesus,
actually probably
that's
what's
a
in
lot.
there. I didn't even look to see what he brought, but it is a Winco bag. So
Hey, Winco makes fine goods,
they
right?
have the best meat, I think.
As long as there's not a clearance sticker on there, I think we'll probably
Yeah,
be fine.
I think Winco's got the best meat in town.
You think so? I'm a big fan of the Albertsons meat.
I was gonna say Albertsons is up there.
Albertsons does good.
But Albertsons
Winco
is also
Butchers?
very expensive.
Winco Butchers, top of the line.
Are they really? Well,
Yeah.
because it's an employee-owned company.
Employee-owned company. So the butchers actually they take classes to learn how to butcher meat,
Yeah.
and then Winco, because it's employee-owned, they actually buy high-end meat to.
What about the co-op?
So
Co-op doesn't believe in meat.
right now we're at this.
Well, they got good meat too.
We're at this perfect discussion right now
Yep.
to where actually something should be brought up.
Oh no.
So
What?
during our East Coast adventure last week, I actually believe that this was last Saturday that this happened.
It's getting very serious.
We went to what I would consider to be a pretty nice restaurant that night. We went to a place called Biagio's, right? A place
It was our
with
last night there.
a place with it's a fine dining Italian joint, right? High end, very
Yeah.
very nice. And
Yeah.
we walk into this place, and we knew immediately when they asked for whether or not we wanted sparkling or still water that this
I
is
felt
gonna,
like I was eating at Vesuvio's in New
Shout out
Jersey.
Jimmy for the good pick.
we knew it was gonna be a treat. So we sit down, everybody starts ordering things. I get myself a Corona with lime as usual. Dane gets himself a fancy cocktail. Everybody else, Levi obviously Diet Coke. Everybody's enjoying the
They
moment,
didn't have
enjoying the
Diet
time. Diet,
Sorry.
whatever it was. I don't know what you got. Something like that.
It was
Lemonade.
Diet Coke. They didn't have Pepsi.
Oh, sorry about that. So we're sitting down and we're going through the menu looking for things to order. We got a plethora of appetizers there, right? Just
a lot of stuff I couldn't eat, so that was nice.
Squid, which was calamari, which was delicious. We also had some
a proper Italian restaurant
bruschetta.
with the
I ate the
seafood
bruschetta.
section.
And then we had, I don't know what the other
Great
one was.
bruschetta.
Oh, yeah, it was
Scallops.
the scallops.
Yeah, again,
good God, those were
don't eat
good.
that.
Yes. So good.
And we're looking through the menu for our main dishes. And for some reason, I'm looking at this menu and I am undecided. I didn't know what I wanted, right? This just never happens to me. Normally I know exactly what I want. But on this list, everybody's going through and saying they wanted
Thank you to P&S for buying that dinner, by the way.
Yes.
But everybody
Thank
wanted
you.
steaks, right? So you wanted yourself the sizzling sirloin
I saw the
steak.
sizzling sirloin. At first, I thought I'd go with the cowboy, and then I thought, you know what? Sizzling sirloin, instead of 24 ounces of meat, 16 ounces, a good pound of beef in my belly. Sounded just fine to me.
Yeah, pretty good, right?
You guys all got steak.
And then
Most
Dane,
basic setup,
Dane,
too.
you were looking at chicken.
Yeah, but it was like a really good, nice, fancy Italian chicken dish.
Found Italian chicken.
It was with
Jimmy
peppers and
Jimmy
chicken,
didn't
it was
want
great.
any meat. He wanted to stick with a
wanted
wheat
pasta.
pasta, right? And then
He
I
had
think
some rough lobster the night
Justin
before.
Justin Dean had a
Alfredo's,
Alfredo's,
and then
chicken Alfredo.
everybody, and there's some other steaks around the table.
Keith got the cowboy.
Keith got the cowboy. I can't remember what Brian got, but
Yeah.
everybody got something that was shrimp scampi.
Brian got shrimp scampi.
But everybody got something good, needless to say.
Yeah.
So when I was coming to me to order, I didn't know what the heck I wanted because I'm like, do I want these like lamb chop things? Do I want the sizzling steak? My problem was they said, hey, the sizzling steak, it comes with butter. That's why it's so sizzling.
That's why it sizzles.
I got
Cooked in butter.
I got a 4 a.m. flight the next day. I'm not trying to play with that, right? With that much
Right.
butter. So I said, hey, what's good that's not with butter? Going down the list, he goes, oh, well, this is good, and and this is good. And I said, well, all right, that sounds kind of interesting. So I said, I'll take that porterhouse style veal plate, whatever the heck that is, right? And so put in the order.
Beautiful,
and
gorgeous piece of
it
meat.
comes out, big old piece of meat, much lighter in color than what I normally used to. I'm looking at kind of like, what's going on with this, right? Well, here's the thing. I'll openly admit, I did not know how old veal actually is. I had just assumed that it was kind of like a young 20, you're in their 20s or so, right? In terms of meat age and quality. And then I start eating it and I go, okay.
You're talking about months?
Yeah, well, I started eating it and I started going, oh, this tastes kind of different than I'm used to. And I'm like, so this is cow.
Yeah, you were like
a younger,
you were thinking like a
20-year-old,
like a 20-year-old cow
equivalent cow, right?
Dog years.
Couple years, yeah.
Just something that's like
Dog
maybe
years.
something where it's like I don't know.
Like 4 or 5 years old cow life.
Yeah.
span.
And then I'm sitting there, and then everybody goes, well, Anthony, how's it feel to be a baby cow killer? And I'm like, what?
Not a killer.
Sorry,
a
an
consumer.
eater, a consumer of the baby cow. I'm like you guys are crazy. This isn't like it's not a baby cow. It's literally like an adult, more adult, like in early adulthood cow.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, no, that's not what veal is. Me, not knowing, I just jump on my phone, I look it up, and my heart sank.
You
into
looked
my stomach.
so uncomfortable. You were on the verge of tears.
Guys, I very rarely do I get mortified of something, but I saw that.
Now, this
and I
is
was
after you already ate the whole thing.
Yeah, you were already done.
I was like 3/4 of the way
You
through.
ate the whole. No, you ate the whole
I
thing.
was so hungry, and so I ate
When
it,
he
and
discovered
He ate
this info.
everything, and then everybody started
guys,
giving me crap
I was
about
a wreck. I literally
Your
saw
voice
that.
softened. You looked so uncomfortable.
Hurt his hand-
Just
hurt
you
his
could
feelings.
see.
I
in
said,
his eyes,
why did you guys let me order that? Why did you let me order the baby cow? And you guys were like, well, we thought that's what you wanted. And Dane's like,
you asked
yeah,
for
I've
it.
had it before. I said, did you eat 17 or 18 ounces of it like I just did? And Dane goes, well, I don't think I had that much. And I said, then you don't know how I'm feeling.
I was
right
like,
now.
I think I had like 8 or 10, something like that.
This was sickening to me. And so I'm sitting there
This
like,
was a big piece of
I can't believe I
Pretty
just
much
ate
all of it.
this. And Jimmy, what does he do? Right?
He starts Googling photos of baby cows.
And he starts showing me these photos and starts saying, this is what you just ate.
Fuzzy
this is what you just
cows,
ate. I've
adorable
never wanted to
cows.
be a vegetarian more in my life than at that point in time. I felt that horrible.
Except you had over a pound of meat in your belly.
Did you know they're like 14 weeks old?
Yeah.
That's like literally like 4 months or whatever. It's like 14, 16 weeks old. So I'm like, that's like a 4-month-old thing, right?
That's rough.
And I was just a mess. So anyway, needless to say, that night we committed something that night. We were all
No, I ate a 16-ounce sizzling
No, we were all guilty
steak.
of
It was
of
delicious,
eating something
medium
that was
rare.
just super
I had
young.
chicken. I'm
Dane
safe.
I had
a
a
very
16-ounce sizzling steak
super young chicken
from a well-aged cow.
No, yours was just maybe a week or two older than
My
mine.
dish was 75% peppers.
And then I found out that Jimmy's wheat pasta, it was like a premature wheat that they pulled out of the ground. Right,
It's actually
which
the wheat
was
from The
just
Last of Us.
Sickening. Then Brian's shrimp scampi, those were just baby innocent shrimp that were just floating through the ocean.
Anthony,
So
I don't want to
we
be
are
this guy, but
all,
it was just you.
We are all guilty of eating something that we probably shouldn't have that night.
Just
and
Anthony.
Yeah.
Just
we learned a
delicious-
valuable life
delicious
lesson.
dinner.
So
Delicious
that's
dinner.
the real veal story. And
Jimmy literally sent you a picture of a
Please don't.
baby girl that looked like Lucy next to a fuzzy
Please
little
don't.
cow, just
Yeah.
adorable.
was a
Dane,
good time.
there's
Said,
nothing.
"This is what
There's
you
nothing
did."
I can do now.
All right.
That thing has gone through my
Moving
body.
on, we are an hour
okay,
behind, and we
yes.
have 40 minutes left. Daytona Wallace saying, correction to my earlier question, the foam is coming out of the handle trigger. Okay. That makes sense.
If that's happening, then you will need to check that top O-ring gasket. So basically, you'll pull off the top portion of it. You could hook that O-ring out if you want to with like a little, like if you have like a hook tool or like
Get a
like
hook tool.
just
Even like some dental hooks or something, dental picks or something. Just
pull
get
that
added
Viton
to your
seal
set.
out. Pull that seal out and check to see if it's been pinched. And if it's been pinched, that could probably be the issue. But what I do is pull it out and soak it in a thing of hot water. Let it kind of reform, and if there was a pinched area, it'll readjust. Then let it just kind of air dry out for a little bit, and then put everything back together as it was, and that should hopefully fix that.
If not, they make rebuild kits that you
Yeah.
can look. Just Google IK
can also
rebuild
do that.
kits, and they will.
Yep.
You can buy a pack
Yep.
and
The seals, I mean, that's the thing, right? You're screwing that thing on, you're putting it on. You're taking it off, you're putting it on, right? There's certain seals around the whole entire construction of that sprayer that with time, they're just going to start to get worn and old, and sometimes they get pinched, so just check them out. We have Riggs 920. Actually, Peter Brookin says that Fender video was fire. Fender video was fire.
comma, well.
I'm going to solution finish route with mine. That's what I did with mine. It's held up great, but PSS also is a long-term update there on my car. Has also held up extremely well. So,
there you go.
Riggs 920 says, Sir Master of Shine, you've mentioned having premixed chemicals in your old shop to refill bottles. What did you use for interior cleaner, dash doors, etc.? I enjoyed trying out new ones, but wondered what you used.
So what I used is a product that it was a B&B blending product that I would buy from MVP. If it was me nowadays, I would buy a Chemtrol unit that you can get from P&S, and I would just run either Express or Cockpit interior cleaner, and I probably dilute it 2 to 1. And the nice thing about the Chemtrol is you can just literally stick it up and fill up a bottle and
Nice.
have it pre-mixed. And for employees, it's much easier because they just have to fill the bottle and they're not mixing their own.
Takes away the guesswork.
You could even do Express or that at 3 to 1 and still get great results. So, Mark Stone saying, "Good afternoon, guys. I recently picked up a couple IK mini multi sprayers, and I love the white piece they improved the trigger with. Can I order one of those from my yes,
Ergo attachment.
They're on their way.
Yeah, they're coming. They're eventually. Actually, IK is actually coming here next week too. We're going to hang out for a little bit and probably get a better update on the timelines for when everything's showing up. But I agree that comfort piece makes all the difference.
Yeah.
You could actually, honestly, too, if you wanted to, you could buy, if you like the way those minis feel, you can buy more of the minis. And I know that it's expensive to justify this, but you can take that white piece off and put it onto your normal TR1 larger sprayer.
It'll fit on them.
I've done that on mine, and I will say it just completely changes that sprayer.
Yep.
Super Duck says, had to pause for a few men there. Super Duck, LOL. Hey, man, that might be your new thing. Who knows? Carly Gates says, catching up, but I'm feeling personally attacked by Anthony, thinking anyone my age is a golden girl. Yeah. Maybe not like I said, you're a yellow jacket girl right now on your way to be a golden girl.
Okay, whatever.
It's the yellow jacket. It's a golden girl like prequel. What that is, right?
Not. Betty White is rolling right now.
Not at all. Not at all.
Betty White's dead.
I know. That's why I'd say she's
rolling in her grave.
In her grave.
Oh, okay.
Super Auto saying Albanese gummy bears are the best.
Oh man, I don't know about that. The Albanese gummy bears are pretty good. They don't dry out the same way the Haribos do, and because of that, they get less points. But I do love that blue raspberry flavor. Delicious.
Ooh. Eddie Cologne saying afternoon, my auto brethren. Hello, Eddie.
Hey, Eddie.
Everybody saying hello. Super Auto saying coming. Hashtag coming is beautiful from Anthony. Great. And then Joey Belinsky says, I love coming this time of year. Okay. Josh McKay saying, it is, yeah. FYI, the Everglades is a river. Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Let's
do it on the river. It's a shallow river, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it a shallow river?
There you go. Are you on 2?
Where are we?
Looks like you're on 2.
So we're here.
All right. Super Auto. Oh, I missed that one.
Got back there. Away. Yep.
All right. Nope.
That's page 3 then. There we go.
Okay. Go all the way. We've already done that one.
Further up. It just keeps moving.
Super Auto just saying, Eddie. All right. Go back down to 2 there.
On page 2. Wow, we are much closer than I thought.
Meridian Marmot. What is a good dry and aid quick detailer that can provide short-term slickness to coatings that are not as slick, like Diamond Body 36? Looking for something that will only stick around until the next wash.
Short-termer.
Oh, man. I think honestly, probably a Dream Maker.
Yeah. Realistically.
Dream Maker is going to add a little bit of something there to it. It's not going to last as long as you would probably want it to. But, I mean, you're going to get everything. You're going to get some slickness while using it as a drying aid. You're going to get some extra gloss. You're going to get some more depth within that color, whatever you're doing. And then it's not going to last for months and months. And so...
realistically, people get like a week or 2 out of it, the effect.
Get like a couple weeks out of it.
I was just say it'll last longer, but the effect is stronger.
I feel like a Dream Maker application actually makes my next wash even easier.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't. Yeah, for some reason, like I don't know. I mean, not just the cleanliness of the paint, but there's just something about it. It does something to the surface to make it a little bit easier. Next up here, we have David Boyce that says gumbo is a Louisiana staple and the crab cakes. David, I love everything that you're saying. Preferably, I like to have my gumbo or a boil and then have crab cakes on top with a bathroom nearby. Life's good, man.
Just being realistic.
Chris, Director of Success, saying Jalopy Jungle is a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is.
Glad you got to experience it, brother.
Yeah.
Daytona Wallace saying, what detailing products would you take with you on a road trip?
What's your go bag?
Honestly, just a rinseless.
Yeah,
and a bucket.
Honestly,
you could do a lot.
Gallon of distilled water, your preferred rinseless, a spray bottle, and towels.
That's it. That's all you need.
You're good. You're ready. Or just mix up your distilled water and then bring an extra sprayer.
Do you want some kind of like protectant possibly
to
use afterwards, or you just don't
If
care?
you topped it out, let's say you clean the car before your trip, you should be, and you put something on the front, you should be fine.
Okay.
For at least, I mean, how long is this road trip? A couple days?
Well, I'm thinking if you're going for like a week.
If you're gone for years, then it's a different situation. But if
you're
gone for a
living
week
in your car at that point.
If you're gone for a week, no big deal.
There's a lot of those van people out there.
Van life is a thing.
It is.
Demo saying, I'll cook y'all some chicken and sausage gumbo.
That sounds absolutely
actually sounds really good.
Phenomenal.
As long as there's no shellfish or fish in it, I'm happy. G. Davis, Dane, if your dentist insists on going through your mouth to do the vasectomy, you may have to buy him or her lunch at a local carpet shop and a local carpet shop gift card. It's true.
Man.
Oh, no.
God.
Oh, boy.
What does
Eddie.
that tool even look like? Am I right?
The problem is these are so without context for anybody just joining. They have no idea why he would even say that.
He's saying, I know construction is cheeks. And then Carson Black, the construction on Eagle is trash. I take that to work every day, but now I have to take a different way.
Yeah.
Joey Belinsky screams out,
car.
is yelling out new OPT products. Very nice. And then Eddie Cologne says, hashtag Alfa Romeo for life. Glenn Dennis, we have craters here, not potholes. Yeah.
Leave that.
And then Craig saying, hey guys, just finished up a detail on a Kia Telluride. What is your favorite interior cleaner, and is there any products you like that are environmentally friendly or they do not? Or do they not work as well? pretty much all of our stuff is pretty safe nowadays.
Yeah.
Literally, actually, everything is very safe nowadays. Honestly, the only safer you get is just use rinseless 256-1 in a spray bottle and wipe your car down. I mean, you're pretty much that's it.
I mean,
these days. Oh,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, these days the chemical stuff has become very
It's a
safe.
false impression people have from years past where they think that just because something is environmentally safe that it's not going to be as
it's not
effective.
false, Dane. It was like that.
No, I'm saying now.
No, it used to be like that. If it said eco-friendly, it meant
Yes.
it didn't work.
Did you not pay attention to the words I was saying? I was saying in years past they developed.
Dane, you're wrong. It was bad. Products were bad back then.
He's not listening to me. Okay, I'm saying it was true back then, and then people developed that bias. And then as time went on, things improved, but people still held the same old bad idea.
No, it was true. Like even, 2012, Carly had said, I want you to start using eco-friendly products in your shop. How do you do it? And I remember going...
What is O&R?
I remember going...
Eco-friendly?
They don't work as well.
And that's the old school way of thinking because it was true.
That was 11 years ago.
There's I found a bottle.
That is no longer true,
a can of it. It was an interior spray cleaner. It's like an aerosol, right? Found it in my parents' garage. That was last weekend, this last weekend when I was over there, and it smelled like gasoline, or it smelled kind of like a.
There's some sort of solvent in it.
There's some type of crazy solvent, but it's like clean and protect your interior, and one spray or something like that. The can date was like early 2000s or whatever, maybe 2014 or 2004 or something like that. But I was like, man, like this smells absolutely horrible. And I think before that in the 90s it wouldn't have been any better. But that was just normal thing to buy off the shelf.
Yeah, no, and that was exactly what it was. So everything we carry now is extremely safe. Almost all of our interior cleaners are pH neutral. Yeah. And safe for your interior plastics and all that stuff. So everything works great. Everything we carry as an interior product is something that Anthony and I both would use.
If something's stronger, we usually address that specifically. Yeah.
Craig then also goes, you guys need to do a video detailing a boat or a plane. It would be awesome. We've done some boat stuff.
Do I have something for you? We've done some videos with our crew working on planes and boats. Yeah. So you have to kind of dig for it. But if you type in the Rag Company aviation detail or plane detail or boat detail, you will find some stuff. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah. Eddie Cologne says, JD Garage, play some music, smoke a cigar, and take it, Daddy.
Whoa.
I like that.
Okay.
And then Joey says, a quick dance break helps me get back on track. He has to dance a little bit.
Nice.
That's a good idea. Barry, it was great seeing you at Long Island Detail Supply. Yeah. It was a pleasure meeting you and Anthony and Levi last week. Thank you, Barry.
Him and his wife, they picked up some good stuff.
They did, yeah.
There were a lot of people
we appreciate you. Listen to us ramble about detailing products for a while.
Yep.
Oh, we got Perfect Detail USA Ambassador of the Year 2022 in the house. You know what Brad just got?
What?
An Integra.
He just got himself a 1996 Integra.
Wait, is that white
Type
one I saw
R.
posted?
Yes, the DC2.
Oh, it's so nice.
He just got that delivered from Japan, and the jealousy is real.
Oh, I bet.
I am like, I saw that and I go, man, I am
Must
like,
be nice.
I am like.
How do you do that? You just got to sell the Evo?
Yeah, I just got to sell my other cars, right? And I could totally do that, right? But what I liked about his car is, you know how authentic it was? It's got a Japanese cigarette burn in one of the bolsters, right? And I'm like, you got to keep that. That's like it's history right there. I like to envision, a guy hitting a toge, like toge run up in the mountains or whatever it is, and he's got that cigarette.
He's got the cigarette in his mouth,
hanging off his lip,
right? While he's hitting some lateral G's on a turn or whatever it may be, and that piece of ash flew off right there, right?
Because he cracked the window.
But and it just kept him going. He's just rolling through gears. And
authenticity is key.
I don't know, Brad. Enjoy. I am envious. Maybe someday we'll get to see this thing in person, but I can't wait to see what you do with it. I think it's going to be amazing.
Nice. Barry then says, you guys were the highlight of the event. Also, my wife Mary enjoyed meeting you guys.
Thank you.
It was great to meet both of you guys. And then Joey Belinsky, Eddie, and I are staying at the home to Suites next year for TR SEMA. Okay. Perfect.
Nice.
Barry then says, what do you suggest for clear coat that's peeling off? Nothing.
Yeah. You can
honestly, Barry,
you can coat over it to try to see if you can make it last a little longer. But once it starts happening, I just have the same thing with my car, with my hood. My clear coat started peeling off. Every time I'd wash it, a new piece would flake off. And my car was coated. It was protected. It had everything that you could possibly want on it. and it still had that issue. So
So what I'll say about that is you may have seen products that said they're clear coat restoring products and stuff. Those won't work on something that's already falling apart and coming apart.
too true,
The
Dave.
whole point is it's meant to go somewhere that is just like a full-on replacement or
IDA certified detailer Dane Hennon.
yeah, so just saying look out because
Real.
you may be
You're right.
tempted
No, you're 100% right.
to just I can just spot fix it. It will not work right.
Looks like Grand Marshall's missing the clock at the top right-hand corner.
That
Take a
is
note, Glenn.
a little new thing. So Glenn's taking notes. She's paying attention. But yes, we will note that, Graham. So yes, you are in a very different location from us. Makes sense. It's going to, affect your timing. But here's David.
David says Spray 9 works very well on mold.
Okay.
There you go. Carson Black says slop dogs are on the menu tonight for
Carson.
dinner.
We're jealous. I'm envious.
Get it.
I didn't eat lunch today, so I'm very hungry right now. So
We missed out on our tacos and stuff that we had too.
We literally had a
Delicious
free taco
tacos,
truck
yeah.
pull up. Didn't have to pay for it. They just
Courtesy of
showed
our
up.
friends at Ernst Manufacturing.
And they had
Remember the
jalapeno
taco
poppers.
party we had last year
Yeah.
with them?
That was today?
They took it up to a next level
It
this
was
time
amazing
with
how good
even
these
bigger
things were.
tacos, more delicious tacos, more options of tacos. It was great.
What was it called? Root something?
Root. It's called Root. R-O-O-T.
Root tacos.
Like a
Yeah.
root.
Not a rut taco.
It's
Root.
a root.
Root.
taco.
Rut is different than root.
It's a root.
Root taco.
is something you do for the home team. Root
What's the
is something that's
R-O-O
underneath.
yeah.
When you
Dane,
say square
R-O-O-T.
root, what do you say? Square what?
Square root.
That's, again, R-U-T.
I'm building my fence. What am I making out of? I'm not making it out of wood. I'm making it out of wood.
No, it is wood.
It's wood.
It's always been wood,
No,
Dane.
wood is
wood
something
shopping.
that people
Dane.
hope to have
Dane.
done to them
No,
in a
Dane, this is a wooden
situation.
Wooden
I'd like to be
this is a
wooed, please.
wooden table, right? That's
It's a wooden table, my friend.
sign over there.
We're back to this again. Don't get me started.
Jay's
Okay.
Car Channel saying Happy Friday Eve, bros. As always, great to see you all and learn from you. Always makes Thursday a date I look forward to.
Man.
And
Glad
then
to have you here.
next page.
Oh, we're up here now. Oh, we are not. Okay, that is next page. Eddie. That one is just...
Eddie saying whatever it takes, they're going to go get in the pool.
Yeah, okay.
Alex Dewar says a good calamari and a bruschetta. My goodness, salivating.
Dude,
I
we're on
know.
the first page.
Yeah,
we can
I
take
know.
our time.
Eddie Cologne saying, is TRC shipping O&R V5? Yes, it is. And what is it like compared to the last? Versus also, which one of you all grab an Absolute or O&R? Honestly, Eddie, Anthony and I grab each. We each have each one
Interchangeable
in
at this
our
point.
garages, and we just use whatever we
honestly,
want.
it's whatever's closer to me at that time. I will usually just
It's
grab.
interchangeable as far as I'm concerned. I love both of them equally, and the goal is we now have rinselesses that work, right?
Yeah.
We've always had O&R, and I've always had issues with the other rinselesses on the market, and they're just not able or capable of being able to hold a candle to O&R, plain and simple. The advent of Absolute can now keep up and do everything that O&R can do.
It can hang.
Yeah.
So...
But the point is you get a clean car at the end. That's the real point. So nobody's going to be disappointed with either.
Yeah,
one.
there's been a lot of disappointing.
They just have a different way of going about
But we now have not just one, but two options for you, and everybody should be happy about that.
Well, and then we also have like the other third option and the fourth option.
But also from Optimum. Yes.
Also Optimum products.
Frank L says installed CSL and XO-V5 on the whips last week. Such a great combo, and V5 is a big improvement over the V4 in our opinion.
Nice.
It is a big improvement. It's hard to explain that to people, but I'm hoping with the word of mouth, more people get on board with switching to V5 because it is a big difference.
If somebody already has experience, then they'll be able to tell.
Yeah, Joey Belinsky says veal is delicious. Okay, I know. Delicious, but wrong. It is a wrong thing to eat. And then Eddie Clone, okay, I know. I get it, man. I know. I don't even want to think about it.
Send you a cow. Picture of a cow.
And then Josh McKay says, Anthony, don't worry about the veal. I'm not an expert, but all animals are slaughtered once they reach full
not
growth.
Not all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I know it just seems pretty young. You know what I mean?
Oh, boy.
Chris B says, I have my front end wrapped in Expel PPF. How do I figure out what products are safe for cleaning it and what to stay away from? Honestly, dude, you're pretty much good to go.
Everything we carry is
with
safe
everything
for
we
PPF.
carry.
If you use it on your paint, you're safe.
The only thing to be careful for is loading the edges up with wax from a paste wax.
Or compounding the heck out of it for no reason. So, but all the spray on stuff, all the cleaning stuff, you're good to go. There's no
Dirt
issues.
and product find their way under the edges. That's it.
Graham Marshall says, I was hoping that wax stock picture would make me glad.
Oh, Graham, I see.
Oh, yeah.
He wants all of us in it. I see.
So now he's going to get
glad with the lad.
Jad.
Does that
The
pinch?
G
Does
is
that
silent.
tear at your heart a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah,
A little bit.
No,
It's all right. His profile pic is you and me standing there with him. So
yeah,
I mean that's still pretty good.
Maybe it could be Jad.
Then he says Iron Brew also have an ice cream flavor.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
And then Cervantes says, made it last minute, literally just got out of surgery. That's the kind of dedication I like to see out of our listeners and watchers.
Literally out of surgery.
Literally.
Here, guys.
First thing, got the phone, pop it on the Q&A. I'm watching.
The nurse
What
is like, hey,
dedication?
is there anything I can get
turn
you?
that off?
My phone. My phone. Hand
All
me
right.
my phone.
This one's for the other folks in the room. Treat our guy right. Thank you.
Yep. And then Joey Belinsky says, if the chemical isn't available in California, it's probably something really good. There you go. Yeah, right?
There's
It just means it works.
Sorry, guys.
David Cervantes says, new format for the live room. I just loopy. No,
Nope.
new format
It
for the
is.
live, David.
It is.
You're okay. It's not the drugs.
Same show, new rapper.
Joey Belinsky says that Grandambassador money really takes you places.
Yeah, I guess so, right? Demo says, hope you're doing well, David. And then we've got Car Suds Detailing Supply says, what are your plans for this year Monterey Car Week if you guys are coming? Manny.
So we have no plans at the moment. Keith brought up that they are still in the process of creating the list of who's coming for the team. And we'll hopefully hear from them soon about what the game plan is for Monterey. But as of right now, we have zero anything.
What we do know, though, is that Josh Petra loves going to that event. We know that Josh Brodel is probably interested. Gabe loved that event.
Gabe did
Jimmy
love
loved that event, and so did Anthony B. I don't know if, I don't know. We can't promise say if we're coming just because of the other trips.
We don't know who's all
but we don't know yet. So we'll figure that out as time goes on.
Yeah.
Oscar Joseph, though, says, how often do you need to change the IK Foam Pro 12 little white filter? I feel like I've been changing mine way too often. Honestly, dude, like every couple months. Even that's with like daily use. You don't need to change it that often. The biggest thing to look for is to open it up and see if there's any pieces of plastic, maybe from the pump, maybe see if there's any other small granules. It could be maybe mineral content from the water that can get built up in that. There's things like that you can find within that filter, and if water is still passing through it and it's still performing well, then there's no need to change it. You only need to change it if it's like getting bad and the sprayer is just not doing what it needs to do. David Cervantes says, just a screw and a bone, right?
Ooh,
Hey, sometimes
Says
those-
no big deal. No big deal for him. Just another day at the office.
Ow.
Yeah.
Right? Jay's Car Detail saying Daytona Wallace on a trip. I always take a number of really good towels along with a rinseless wash, detail spray, and glass cleaner. To me, those are essential as you will typically encounter bugs, rain, and things you want to remove immediately. Second comment.
The rinseless washes we like do act as good glass cleaners, though, too.
That's true. That's why we go with the rinseless. Joey Belinsky says, is someday, Anthony, still working on the Grandambassador revamp?
I am working on it.
Anything you'd like to share on that since we're at the top 3 comments and we have a little time?
So we're estimating that it'll probably be August, might make the most sense. Because the thing is our quarter system is at a weird split right now. And with the changes that we're wanting to make, we're trying to figure out a good time frame. Because basically, I think I explained this, that the whole program itself may be going to a more of a trimester program, to where instead of having 3 months to be a Grand Ambassador, you'd have 4 months just to give people extra time. And then obviously the number would be coming down in the amount of people chosen per trimester. But it's really all just in efforts to, again, establish a better relationship with the Grand Ambassadors, but also be able to provide them with adequate time and support from us, right? The problem that we faced was that even though 40 people doesn't sound like a lot of people per year, it can be a lot of people to manage. And what would happen is that, some people just start getting to the hang of it like the second month, and they go, hey, dude, I'm just starting to get this thing down. My photos, my videos, everything's going great. And then they have like 1 month left technically within their time frame, right? And some people kept, bringing the heat even after their quarter, which was amazing, but some people would fall off. And I don't want that feeling of people being like, all right, well, I did my thing and I'm over it now. I want people to continue being a part of the team and having fun with us. So just trying to think of, inventive ways to do that. So I'm thinking if it goes live in August, It would give September, October, November, and December. It would give 4 months there to be able to give us the actual showdown for the Grand Ambassadors. So ideally, that's how it's going to go down. And then there would be the Grand Ambassador showdown winner of the year, essentially, between the runner-ups. And, yeah, go from there. It's going to be pretty sweet, though. Nice. We have Brett G that says, oh, sorry.
Yeah, Eddie.
Eddie says, when can I come to Boise from Pocatello and drop some money?
Literally any time that's not a Saturday.
You're welcome to do it any weekday. And I would also say that as far as that goes, our store, what on earth is happening out there? Okay, so anyway.
We got somebody on the ceiling.
Yeah, we got somebody on the ceiling.
Ceiling tiles open.
That's kind of crazy.
They're spying on us.
Yikes. So I noticed some activity at the future store over there.
Yeah.
I don't know how
it's coming
far
up.
along
It's
we're
getting
going,
built. No, they just literally spray
action.
painted. No, they spray painted the floor and marked out everything so they can start drilling.
That's a
so
start.
they can add in the plumbing for the toilets.
Ooh, that's exciting.
How many toilets are they doing over there?
I think only doing one.
That's unfortunate.
Well, nobody's
It's
living
only one.
in there, so.
It's only one.
Speak for yourself. Dean.
Well,
I was
you
planning
might.
on
small bathroom.
it's my weekend getaway shop over there.
If the doors are still unlocked after this, we can walk over. I could show you the toilet-sized space they built.
We should go
it's
look at
kind
it.
of tight.
Yeah.
It's a little small bathroom.
So something to consider. But yeah, no, eventually, long after we originally wanted to have it open, but eventually it will be.
But Eddie,
open.
you can come anytime during the week, Monday through Friday.
Do a curbside style
If you got
order.
time to come hang out with us. Graham saying, I'll sort some iron brew out in extra. Yes, extra is the
lovely.
preferred flavor.
The full sugar is a bit much.
Yeah, Joey Belinsky, I'm just trying to figure out when Jamie the Cleaner is going to take that championship
Ooh,
belt.
I see Joey's in that corner, the Jamie corner.
Yeah.
Man.
Everybody has to. It's going to be an equal fight, man. So it's whoever brings the heat. But I know that Jamie is a very competitive person. I know that. I know when he found out, he's like, I'm out for blood. And I go, all right. Well,
Yeah, no, he got
He
a
literally,
look in his
he literally
eyes.
pulled war paint out and started to apply it while he said that too. And he goes, when's this battle start?
Yeah, and I was like, well, I really just
literally,
want this to be a clean fight. And I think
the next thing he said,
doing it
and he
dirty.
was already like sharpening a knife on a whetstone.
Where'd
And
you
he was
get
just
that
looking
from?
he was looking at you going,
Yeah.
so what date are we starting?
Well, and then he licked the knife with his tongue.
Yeah.
But all
A
while
little
he's
bit of
doing
blood,
this, his
it was
eyes
very
turn
strange.
black like a great white shark or something, and then like flames, actual embers were
and then he shape-shifted.
glowing in there. It was crazy.
So hopefully people bring the heat to battle that.
Yeah, look out for that guy.
We have Carson Black says, what about the TRC license plate frames?
It's a good idea. We'll think about it.
I mean, those are usually relatively
We'll figure it out.
expensive.
You never
We'll
know.
see.
We'll see. I've got some
Yeah.
ideas that I want to push for some extra merch just for fun.
And then Carson says, thank you. Hope to see you guys here.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
And Brett saying clearance Winco meat equals well aged.
It's nicely marbled. This
nicely
clearance Winco meat.
It's a beautiful marble, right?
Yeah.
And it's a dry age, is what that
You can just
typically is.
pull out the maggot. It's cool. And
Craig saying, what's the difference between a quick detail spray, quick detailer, and a waterless wash? I personally don't use detail spray and always reach for the waterless wash. Craig, waterless wash has higher encapsulation. It has more cleaners and detergents. It's designed to actually clean. It's higher encapsulation and emulsification properties. So it's designed to remove dirt from the surface. A quick detailer is usually most likely designed to add gloss, some light protection, some slickness to the surface, as well as some lubrication to remove any light dust or anything like that.
It's pretty good.
Basically,
Right.
if you wash a car, after you wash a car, you can use a quick detailer to then finish it up. Wipe it down, knock it down, make it look good. You finish cleaning a car, you finish detailing, you pull it out, you're waiting for your customer, you're walking it around. You're going to use a quick detailer to touch up any handprints, things like that. You would not use a waterless wash because it has detergents in it that may or may not remove the protectants that you just put on the surface.
Amen, Levi.
That's why.
Amen.
all right.
Joey Belinsky
says, sometimes I enjoy a nice walk to another bathroom in a different building just to check things out.
Who doesn't, right?
Same way, right?
That's what
Thing
Anthony
is,
does.
People go, what are you doing opening those doors over there? I'm like, I'm just checking out.
Just
out
want to
what's
see if there's a
going on,
bathroom
right?
in here.
And I go, it smells pretty good in here. I'm actually going to use this really quick. And
Right,
they
you
go,
grab a bucket.
You don't need to do that.
I brought a bag.
Sir, there are no walls yet.
Eddie Clone says, drove Saturday one day and stared at the close sign.
Yeah,
so
that's
Eddie,
the problem.
you got to come literally
Monday through
Friday from 9 to 5. You could also call ahead just to make sure that we are here And it's 3 hours from Pocatello?
Yeah, about that 3.5.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything from Pocatello I would want. That I could see him to bring me. Well, because
let's just say if you're in Idaho, you know.
Well, I'm just trying to think if there's anything in Pocatello because we won't
that
drive.
That place has a lot of nicknames.
Like here in Boise, we probably won't drive to Pocatello for any reason unless we're passing through. I really don't see any
reason to go
or
there.
unless you have family. But I'm trying to think if there's anything cool from over there. That'd be sweet because there's car park guys that do that all the time. They go, "Who's driving to Pocatello? I have tires." I need to pick up.
For car stuff, people
there's a jalopy over in what's it called? Twin Falls.
And Twin Falls are both like. Unless you're really into your car stuff, there's not really a reason to.
Yeah. Well, because it's just pure highway.
Yeah,
and
3 hours of highway to a spot
that's not pretty highway.
Yeah.
No,
it's
is
not.
what it is. Joey Valinsky says, "I'd rock a TRC frame so hard." I'd rock a TRC frame so hard.
Then Ryan saying, "Thank you, gentlemen. Have a fantastic weekend.
You
Thank
too,
you."
Ryan. Thank you.
Eddie Cologne says, "The Swamp King. Let's go, Jamie."
Yeah, buddy.
So Jamie the Clay, the Swamp King.
He has shirts made, but he's not really. He's in the South, but he's nowhere near the swamp. But it's just that's his claim to fame.
It's literally a statue of a fan boat with a crown on top of it, and his face riding in the driver's seat.
The cleaner, the Swamp King,
with
Joey
little
says,
arms sticking out of the head and steering.
Great. Joey Valinsky, sometimes my badge won't let me in. So I have to make a run for it before security finds me. It keeps it exciting. Makes the day go by faster. Yeah. And then David Cervantes saying, "Thank you, boys, for the live. I'm going to catch up when I get home." And then Eddie saying, "I got the Teal TRC Metals. Need some Teal 300, 350 GSM. Any of that coming out soon? The SBG edition. We do not have anything else that is that color."
Her car show's coming up pretty soon.
We've got some Eagles.
Yeah.
We got those. But yeah. Ricardo B saying, "Have a great weekend. Thanks, guys."
Thank
and then Joey Belinsky saying, "Thank you guys. Catch up sometime in the next few weeks." Good luck, Joey. Good luck with your surgery and
take
everything,
care.
man.
Seriously.
Just think, when he comes back, he's going to be better, stronger, faster, going to be able to evade those security guards when he's checking in the other bathrooms.
It's like a bionic heart with its own plasma chamber in it. Have you ever seen Tony
Stark?
Stark?
What if it shoots? What if he can blast plasma out of his mouth or his chest?
Or anything else.
That'd be pretty
nuts.
Sweet.
That'd be crazy.
Wow, it turns out that doctor who's doing my work is actually working on something in the back room that he hasn't really told the rest of us about, but Joey might be getting
the good news, Joey, is that these heart doctors are so crazy good nowadays. I'm pretty sure they can just make whole new ones. It's insane.
Cheney ran without a heart for a while. Right?
That's right.
He had the fake
didn't have a heart. I think we were just years away from an arc reactor. I think we're pretty much there.
Straight up, there it is.
Impressive. Pretty impressive.
It's going to be amazing.
Oh, boy. There he goes.
He says he's totally getting an arc reactor.
I got cigars, my guy. Some good fire. All right. Okay. So I think that's pretty
much. And Antoine, we did it all. Clean towels and tools. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Antoine, for cleaning your garage while you watch this.
All right,
Dane, take us home.
Let's wrap this up like a present.
Okay. So, you know what, guys? It's been a fun show. It's been a great show. I appreciate all of you here, as do these guys, and it's nice to be back, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Well, if you do one thing for us before you go, please, all I ask is that you click like on this video on your way out the door. Just click that like, and if you haven't already subscribed, do that too. We really appreciate it. Helps us notify you when more stuff happens here. That's how you know. And I've got a few more, because we're on the podcast now, I've got a few more interviews from the Creator Summit still coming out, so you can look forward to those. I dropped Ivan today, and we'll have Jason Rose coming out tomorrow, so you can look forward to that. Nice. So anyway, that's it, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch up with you next week on the TRC Podcast. Have a great weekend. See ya.